All right, so we're going to dive into how to build and grow an email list full of people with money, or PWM. So let's get right to it. So the problem most people face is they build a list full of tire kickers, aka people who won't pull out their credit card and buy. By the way, one thing I just want to say before we dive right in again, I am recording this. You will get a copy of the slides, you'll get a copy of the recording, and you'll get a PDF of all of the links that were shared in the presentation. So if you want to take notes, feel free to take notes, but you're going to have access to everything that we talk about. All right, so the problem most people face, they're building a list full of tire kickers. So a bunch of people who kind of sit around, read, but don't actually pull out their credit card and buy. And that's really what we're going to go over today, is how to put people with money on your list so that whatever it is you're selling, whether you're selling your own stuff, you're selling affiliate offers, you're selling coaching, you're selling high ticket, you're selling low ticket, whatever it is you're selling becomes a lot easier when you have actual people with money on your list. This is probably one of the most important slides in the whole presentation, and I really want to hammer on this. So if you only remember one thing from this entire training, let it be this. The two biggest factors that decide whether or not the people you add to your list are good buyers or not is the offer or the lead magnet you use to get them on the list. And we're going to go over a bunch of examples of good ones and bad ones in that. The second one is the traffic source that they come from. So all traffic sources are not created equal, and all traffic sources do not produce similar customers. So those are the two biggest factors: the offer, the lead magnet that you use to put them on your list, and the traffic source that they come from. So like I said, if you forget everything else and you just remember that, you'll be good to go. So a couple of examples of this. Bad, what we really don't want here is the wrong lead magnet plus a mediocre traffic source. What we do want, which would be a little better, is a decent lead magnet and a great traffic source. And the best is really what we're shooting for and what we're going to talk about in this presentation, which is having a great lead magnet and a great traffic source. That's really what you want in the end. That's the type of people that you want to be putting on your list. And when you combine the two, a great lead magnet and a great traffic source, that's how you get people with money onto your list. So we're going to cover more on lead magnets and traffic sources and all that in a bit. But first, let's just kind of quickly establish why we want to have an email list in the first place. So email is where all the money is in direct response. So I've worked with hundreds of direct response businesses. I've ran a bunch of my own in many different niches. The money is all made, especially the profit is all made on the back end through an email list. So if email literally disappeared tomorrow, the large majority of direct response businesses, e-com businesses, all of them would probably go out of business because that's where they make all their money. They don't really make the money running ads from YouTube to the offer. They tend to break even there. The money is really made on the back end through the email list. So this is why we want to have an email list. So it's under your control. And this is a big thing with everything that's going on now with people being deplatformed on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You don't actually control what the people that follow you on those platforms. They could easily take that away at any second and you're left with nothing. It's happened to a lot of different people, some of which who deserved it, some of which didn't deserve it. So you're really kind of leaving it up to their control and kind of the whims of the people who are monitoring that kind of thing. So email list is very different. If some email provider decides to kick you off, you can simply take your list and hop over to a different email provider. Another reason, if you're a copywriter, you're not relying on clients. That can be a huge pain in the ass for a lot of people. I know I never truly enjoyed client work when I was doing consulting and copywriting. I much more enjoy kind of doing my own thing and having control over it, over what I'm doing. People are already conditioned to buy through email. This is just email has been around for 25 years and people are pretty used to getting offers through emails and buying stuff through emails. So people are already kind of conditioned to buy stuff through email. This is why having an email list, having 10,000 people on an email list, is worth way more than having 10,000 people following you on YouTube. Last but not least, having a list is like having your own money faucet that you can kind of turn on and turn off anytime you want. If you have a list that has people with money on it and that are interested in hearing what you say, you can do all kinds of cool stuff, trainings, sell products, you can do coaching, whatever it is you want to do, and you can kind of create money out of thin air. So having an email list is pretty damn special. I'm gonna check the chat real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Lots of friends checking in with each other. Great. All right, so we'll keep going. So here's what we're going to cover in the training. Number one, how to pick a profitable niche. Number two, lead gen versus buyer gen for building your list. We're going to go over different examples of both. Which traffic sources are bringing the best quality people to your list, and we're going to cover some advanced strategies with this as well. Monetizing your lead gen or your front end offer, the tech you need to run an email list. And then last but not least, a little bonus here, which are shortcuts to get started if you don't have a lot of money to spend. And a lot of people expressed interest in that one. So I think that one's gonna be really interesting. All right, quickly before we dive in, let's go over what this training is and what it is not. So it is not a step-by-step process of how to set up an opt-in page, how to use Facebook ads, how to write an email, anything like that. So I don't want you expecting that during the training. What it is, though, is it's filled with lots and lots of examples to give you ideas on building and growing a list. There's tons of examples of lead magnets and low ticket offers. I'm gonna share a bunch of them on the training, and then you're also gonna get a PDF with them as well. I made sure to do plenty of examples from a wide variety of niches. So health, financial, make money, dating, golf, guns, politics, guitar, real estate, gardening, survival, and more. And then we're also going to go over ideas for acquiring a list with $0 or very little money upfront. All right, who is ready? Give me some love in the chat if you are ready to get rolling and learn some secrets of list building. Ooh, hot chat today. All right. Nice. Sweet. All right, so first thing we're going to start with is how to pick a profitable niche. If you already have a list and you already have your niche and all that, a lot of this will be redundant for you, but there are a few interesting things in here that I think might be something you learn from, if you're already past this point. So you want to pick a niche where there is proven demand. So a good rule of thumb, I honestly can't remember who told me this, but I heard it many, many years ago, and I think it's a great way to find a niche is any niche that has its own magazine is going to be a profitable niche. So I'm gonna show you a couple examples of this. I was back in Ohio this weekend for my grandma's birthday and took this picture at the airport. This was in the Cleveland airport. So Ohio is very kind of blue collar, so lots of fishing, hunting, gun kind of magazines, probably much different than what you'd find in New York or something. So as you can see here, the different types of niches you see, there's fishing, hunting, guns, politics, both conservative and liberal, business and marketing, retirement, leadership, fashion. That was just one of the racks. We also have boating, cycling, economics, history, science, celebrities, photography. So we got a lot going there. There's already, I don't know, I think there was like 15 of them. This one is pretty much all the food and diet stuff. As you can see, there's an entire shelf that is food and diet. That's why this niche is so big. So keto diet, air fryer cooking, Mediterranean diet, do-it-yourself stuff, home organizing, home decor, baking, chocolates and desserts, food and wine, and then there's some pet magazines as well. This one, we have magazines on Christianity, skiing, fitness, bodybuilding, golf, watches, running, guitar, cars, tech gadgets, woodworking, DIY home renovation, and health supplements. So pretty big variety there. Ice fishing is my new niche. There you go. Pretty big variety there of niches you can be in. So like I said, if a niche has a magazine, to me that's a good sign that there's a market for you having an email list in that niche. I'm gonna go over some of the top niches where I know you can make money with a list, and this is just based on my experience and seeing this, I don't know, over the last 18 20 years that I've been doing this. Fitness and health, very obvious one. Weight loss, anti-aging, gut health, bodybuilding, thyroid health. There's a million more sub niches, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Financial, a lot of stuff around retirement, day trading, crypto, social security, bonds, real estate. Make money, this is a huge niche as well. Starting a business, affiliate marketing, copywriting, stuff like that. Survival and outdoors is a massive, massive niche. Water filters, food packs, solar energy. Dating and relationships, there's two sides of this. You got the men's side and the women's side. They have pretty different appeals going on. So things like meeting women, using Tinder, how to get a man to commit, interrelationship issues, stuff like that. Very big niche. Hobbies, the hobby niche is massive. I mean, just think of everything that people enjoy doing. So guitar, poker, guns, golf, basketball, fishing, gardening, dancing, horses, do it yourself, cars, boating, hunting. I mean, that thing could go on and on. There's just endless amounts of hobby niches. Collectibles, rare coins, baseball cards, watches, stamps, all kinds of stuff like that. Gaming, I don't really know much about gaming, but there are millions and millions of people that play Minecraft and World of Warcraft and stuff like that. So there's a lot of money to be made in those niches. Credit repair, this is technically probably part of the financial niche, but credit repair is a really big kind of sub niche. Astrology tends to be, I would say, probably 90% women, but learning more about yourself, learning more about who you're compatible with. The astrology niche is very, very big. Politics, usually they lean heavily one side or the other, liberal, conservative, libertarian. Religion, lots of different religions out there that you could do an email list with daily religious teachings. And then self-help, all kinds of things in there. Get a better job. You got kinds of like heal your traumas, therapy type stuff. I mean, self-development in general is just make more money. I mean, it's a massive, massive niche as well. So all of these I've seen work as niches. I've seen people making money in them, and I've seen people doing everything from low ticket to high ticket type stuff in these niches. All right. So those are the major niches. And like I said, there are sub niches to each one. So we'll kind of go over that now. So make money niche is a great example of this. You could have everything from how to start a business to e-commerce to Amazon FBA to affiliate marketing, phone sales. There's more like real in-life stuff and not on computers. So like I saw a make money offer about how to recharge bird scooters, and I don't know how much you get paid for them, but if you'll see people driving around with trucks and like hauling them around, and they basically recharge them and put them back, and they make money doing that. Coding school, media buying, copywriting, email marketing. There's an old school like biz ops stuff around envelope stuffing. I've seen a bunch of watch flipping offers lately where you basically buy a watch for $500, flip it for 700 kind of thing. Craigslist arbitrage. There's a couple offers around this. My buddy Jordan Hall used to have a BizOp offer on, basically it was like how to make like $2,000 in a weekend, teaching people how to build bunk beds and sell them on Craigslist. Pretty cool kind of BizOp offer. And then kind of just income, kind of make money offers, become a bookkeeper, become a payroll specialist. Like I said, the sub niches in this one are endless. You'll see them everywhere. But those are kind of some good examples of all the sub niches that you'd see within a main niche. Health is the same way. Health is probably the biggest niche out there, especially when you break down all the sub niches. So like even weight loss has tons of little sub niches. You see weight loss for moms, you see weight loss for busy dads. There's specific ones that are for obese people. Muscle building for skinny guys, strength training for athletes, prostate health, diabetes, blood sugar issues, nerve repair. My buddy Jimmy has a business that literally all they do is nerve repair type products, and I think they do $15-20 million a year. vision problems, toe fungus, anti-aging. So I'm not gonna go through all these, but you can see tons and tons of sub niches in the health niche. So tons of options out there for what you can do. You don't want to be just really in the health niche. You kind of want to pick one of these sub niches, no matter what niche, no matter what niche you're building a list, and you would like to have a little more specificity to it. So my big suggestion here is to pick a niche that you're interested in and that you can see yourself writing about or talking about for the next 5 years. One of the worst spots you can get in is having a successful business doing something that you literally like hate talking about and you're not really interested in. You don't want to get to that point. So highly recommend picking something that is an actual interest to you and something that you kind of pursue on your own, even without kind of money involved. Like I love reading about business stuff and marketing stuff, even if I wasn't making any money from it. So that's actually interesting to me, and one of the main reasons I teach stuff in the make money niche. So niches to avoid. A couple of people asked me about this. I would suggest avoiding any niche where there's not a magazine in that niche. There's no successful businesses in that niche. If you're the first one and you think you found some gold mine, chances are you probably did not. There's a reason there's no businesses already in that niche. It's probably because it's not profitable. And lastly, I would say avoid businesses where the people in the niche don't have much money. One, either they're broke, or two, they're kids. I've seen this with a lot of people. I have a buddy, Jason Capital, used to have a business in the basketball training niche, basically teaching how to dribble, score, be a better basketball player. He made decent money, but the problem with that niche was all the people who followed him were like kids in junior high. And every time they wanted to buy something, they had to get their parents' credit card. So that's a whole hurdle of that you really don't want to be dealing with if you can, if possible. My friend Ryan McGinn, same thing. Back in the day, he used to be in the BMX niche. Exact same thing. It was a bunch of 15, 16-year-old kids who were riding BMX. They don't have any money. They don't have income. They have to beg their parents. It's just really tough to kind of get money out of that niche. I would also say niches where people just are flat out broke. This kind of happens a little bit in the credit niche, where a lot of these people just don't have access to credit and don't really have a lot of money. It can work for selling them lower ticket stuff, but if you're trying to sell them higher ticket stuff, it's pretty damn hard because they just simply don't have the money. All right, I'm gonna stop here and take some questions on picking a niche. Anybody got questions on niche? Feel free to pop it in here. Yeah, if you got questions, just pop it in the chat. Nancy said for these niches, we'd pick one sub idea, like get a better job as opposed to heal your trauma. Yeah, I recommend mostly when starting out, you should probably pick a sub niche. If you're a really advanced marketer, you can go into the bigger niches like weight loss. But like when you're starting out, I would pick more kind of a sub of that, like weight loss for busy moms, or weight loss, like I said, for dads who are at the office all day, stuff like that. You're much better off going into a more specified niche. Ken said, what about education, picking a college, financial aid? Yep. I would put that in the kind of personal development category. So increasing your education, getting further in life. All right, just going through what we got here. Ron said, how do you find lists for these? We'll talk about that a little bit later. Mateo said, how do you enter a niche? Plenty of competitors. Yeah, you really just got to have an interesting hook. And large niches, there's plenty of people to go around. So like, even if you go into something like weight loss that is very oversaturated, there's tons of people looking to lose weight. So you all can get a little piece of the puzzle. You said, can you combine niches? Yep, you definitely can. I mean, my old supplement company was supplements, but we sold specifically to conservative men and women. So a lot of the email lists we bought from were conservative email lists. So that was kind of combining the niches. JD said, how about Christian businessmen? Yeah, I think there's probably a niche for that. Especially if you're doing higher ticket type stuff. I think there would be stuff for that. Kim said other way to gauge instead of magazines since they're not as popular as they used to be. I mean, you can just look to see which ones have email lists. I mean, that's a whole nother. So start doing Google searches and seeing which ones are running ads. Do searches on Facebook, who's running ads there. I mean, most of the magazines cover pretty much every niche possible. I mean, there's very, very few that they don't cover. So I think 95% of the niches would be covered with a magazine kind of thing. Robin said, so if you're doing make money online, would you recommend sub niching down rather than keep it wide? Yep. I would sub niche it into whatever it is you're doing, affiliate marketing, copywriting, whatever it is. Darren said, should you pay attention to what affiliate offers there are for a niche or have an idea for your own product? You can do both. So, I mean, most of the successful people promote affiliate offers and also have their own products. It's really up to you. I mean, if you want to do the lazy way, which is don't create any of your own products, just build a list around a certain niche and just promote affiliate offers, you can 100% do that. If you're going to do that, you'd probably want to be in one of the main 3 or 4 niches like health, financial, or relationships, just because there's just tons of offers to promote in those. Andrew said, what about creating a niche for a marketing agency, example for e-commerce, and then using that to get clients? Yeah. I mean, if you have a list full of people that would be prospects for hiring an agency, like a lot of the people on my list, yeah, that's absolutely a way you can do that. What makes guitar niche a viable niche? Musicians are mostly broke, aren't they? No, I mean, there's plenty of, I mean, the idea of a broke musician who's doing that as a full-time living, I think probably is a real thing for a lot of them. But I mean, there's tons of people who are accountants and they play guitar or whatever. I mean, they got a good job, make 80 grand a year, and they play guitar and they've been playing for 20 years. So that's mostly who the buyers are going to be. Heather said, are there any niches you would avoid in a recession? I think, is there any niche you would avoid in a recession? I don't think you should really use that as a barometer because there's going to be recessions sooner or later, no matter what. So you want to be in a niche that can actually survive through the recession. And pretty much all the ones that we've talked about have been around for years and years and years. So if they can make it through the recession, then your list will as well. Ben said there's no copywriting magazine. Why did you choose copywriting? So I would put, I mean, copywriting is under the kind of make money, and there are plenty of make money magazines. And I personally just like teaching copywriting. I know there's a market for it. So that's why I do that. Can you go into more detail on the real estate niche? Are you talking sales or training or coaching? I mean, you could do whatever you want. You could do training and coaching for other real estate people. You could do biz op stuff to help people get into real estate. There's all kinds of stuff with like teaching people how to flip houses. I mean, there's millions of things you can do with real estate. Sales for business owners. Yep. That would definitely work. If you're teaching people how to make money, is it implied that they don't have any? No, definitely not. A lot of people come into the make money niche, same thing, where they have regular jobs. Like I said, they're an accountant or whatever they're doing, or they're a secretary and they're watching YouTube videos and seeing all these people make money doing stuff and they want to do the same thing. So yeah, there's a lot of people that have money that want out of their job and into something else. My friend is testing building muscle offer for college students. Should we pivot? Have you seen any college student offers? Personally, yes, I would not. Most of the buyers, even like stuff on muscle building, tends to be a little older. With YouTube, you get a little younger, but if you're targeting just college students, I think you're targeting a lot of people who don't have money. I would much prefer targeting a little older who has the money. Would books also be a good gauge of a niche if there's no specific magazines? Yep, I think it's a good one. Yeah, you can start in biz op and then shift to personal development. Yep, no problem with that. Saving a marriage, yeah, that's a very big pain point. There's always going to be one person in a marriage that doesn't want it to end, so that's a great niche. Should we already have plenty of back end ideas in mind? No, you don't have to. You just have to make sure you're in a niche that has back end potential. Like, I mean, I wouldn't do a product on how to give like a toast at a wedding because there's not really a back end to that. So you want to make sure there's something that has an actual back end, and all the examples that we shared here are stuff that have back ends. Okay, guys, if you're asking questions, make sure you put them in the chat and not the Q&A box. How can copywriting be a niche? Teaching people copywriting. You can use it to target business owners. If you get business owners on your list, you could use it to actually sell them your copywriting services. Like my niche is copywriting. I teach courses and trainings and events and stuff like that. Pretty simple. Where would you suggest starting in survival? Survival food's really easy. You could do kind of courses or PDFs in survival. We'll get into that a little bit. I think you'll have a lot more a better idea after I show you some examples. What angle would you use to create a list on copywriting from scratch? We'll go over examples of that. How about overcoming injuries mentally and physically? I mean, overcoming injuries definitely physically is a very viable. The pain niche is huge. So people spend a lot of money on that. Is a good idea to pick a niche on something you'd like to learn. Yeah, I mean, it should be something you're interested in. That definitely would be something you want to do. Yeah, good idea from Scott. Searching YouTube, yep, you'll see all kinds of stuff in there. Do I recommend building a men's list focused on fitness and biz op? I would not have my list be fitness and biz op. I would keep it to one of them. Strength training for older people. Yeah, any type of kind of short exercise that they could do at home for older people definitely is going to do pretty well. Alternative health. Yep, that's a huge niche. No, it's not preventative. It definitely is solves pressing problems. So that's a very big niche. Self-publishing, yeah, I would put that under make money. That's a pretty big niche. A lot of people successful in that already. Artificial jewelry niche for women. Yeah, you certainly could build a niche full of women who buy jewelry and just send them different deals kind of every day on different types of jewelry. Yeah. Yes, saving marriages is a good niche. Parenting, teaching children to read who struggle with it. Yeah, I think that's a good niche. Any type of like children's books, stuff like that. You've already seen those. They're all over the place. So that shows you that the niche is there. Yeah, you could certainly build something in the trucking niche. I mean, I don't really know anything about that niche, but any kind of niche where there's people that all have a similar common experience, that's definitely gonna be good. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a bunch of list building stuff. So let's hop into that. I don't want to spend all day on questions, otherwise this is gonna take 10 hours. So if you got questions, feel free to keep them coming, but we'll keep going. So we just talked about picking a niche. Now we're going to talk about creating an offer or a lead magnet specifically to attract people with money. All right, I want to restate this important principle that I started the training with. So the lead magnet or the offer that you use is going to have a huge effect on whether or not the person has money. And it's also going to determine if they're a serious prospect or not. So a couple of good examples of this. Let's say you had a lead magnet in the financial niche that was 10 tax write-offs that most people miss versus how to double your tax deduction if you donate between $10,000 and $100,000 a year. So if you are looking for higher quality people who make more money and who are going to be better spenders on the back end, you would definitely want the second lead magnet because that's going to attract people that are actually making a lot more money. This first one really just kind of appeals to everybody. That's really not what you want. You want more specified so you can get just the best people onto the list. Another example of this in the copywriting niche. So let's say you had a lead magnet, how to make $5,000 a month as a copywriter versus one that was gripping opening lines for email copy. The how to make 5K a month as a copywriter is mostly going to appeal to newbies and biz ops seekers and people who really aren't even in the copywriting niche. It's not going to appeal to anybody who's making 10K a month as a copywriter already, which is really kind of the people you'd want to have on your list. Whereas the second one, gripping opening lines for email copy, anybody who's like new is that's probably not even going to understand what that is. But if you are someone who writes email copy every single day, that might be pretty appealing to you. So you're going to get a much more dedicated buyer or lead with that type of lead magnet. Let's look at the guitar niche. Similar things here. How to instantly solo in any key over the entire fretboard without boring music theory. That is going to appeal to someone who's been playing guitar for a long time. So this is somebody who's probably already invested a bunch of money in a guitar and speakers and everything else that goes along with playing guitars. The second one, how to play your favorite song on the guitar in less than 60 minutes. That would appeal to someone like me. So like I played guitar for like 2 months in high school and then never played again. But that's the type of thing that would have appealed to me as a beginner. So you're getting a very newer person, maybe someone who's never even picked up a guitar before in their life. But the reality is you want the person that's more advanced and who's more dedicated and more serious about playing guitar on your list because they're going to be on that list for years to come, whereas the other person could be gone and onto something else in a month. So rule number one of putting people with money on our list is we want to use our bait. The bait is the lead magnet or the offer that we use to put people on the list. We want to make sure that bait attracts people who are serious about whatever it is we're selling. All right, we're going to dive into how to get people on the list. So 2 different ways. There's leads and then there's buyers. So when I say leads, I just mean you're getting an email address and maybe a name. When you're getting a buyer, you're getting someone who actually is pulling out their credit card and paying money for whatever it is you're offering. So buyers are always going to be worth more than leads on an email list. This is just proven over and over again in every single niche out there. I got a little thing down here to kind of illustrate. So somebody who buys a $297 product is going to be better over time than somebody who buys a $97 product, better than somebody who buys a $10 product. and better than a lead. Like I said, this holds true for, like, if your whole list was built on buyers, it's going to be better than if your whole list is built on leads. And I have a good example of this here. So if you had an email list of 20,000 buyers who all bought a $97 product, that list might make you 250 grand a year, while an email list of 20,000 leads might make you $10,000 a year. So very different quality here between buyers and leads. One of my big recommendations, a lot of the questions I got around this were like, I only want people with money on my list. Well, if you only want people with money on your list, then you're better off just skipping leads and just focusing on getting buyers, because buyers, even if they spend 10 bucks, that's better than a lead in pretty much every case. So if you want to make sure you're getting people with money on your list, you can just, like I said, just skip looking for the leads and just focus on putting buyers on your list. We're going to go over examples of how to do this. I will tell you that pretty much all the big name marketers do both lead gen and buyer gen. So people like Mike Geary, the Agora companies, Joel Marion, Russell Brunson, all these people that are running hundreds, if not thousands of leads and buyers a day, they tend to do both lead gen and buyer gen. So they both work. It really just kind of depends on what you want to do and what you kind of excel at. All right, so let's look at what's working in the lead gen in multiple niches. By the way, if you have questions, I got a thing kind of about halfway through this where I'll take questions on lead gen. I'll answer all your questions then. So let's look at lead gen. So I got a bunch of examples here for you. And we'll go through these one by one. So this is one that Mike Geary's running. The blood pressure fix. Discover what things like alcohol, coffee, fruit, butter, and beef actually do to your blood pressure. Drug companies don't want this released. All you have to do is grab your 100% free copy and tell us where to send it. So you just enter your email, and then it quickly sends you to a VSL that you can see here. So this is the way he's liquidating his ad cost. So trying to get some people to buy. This is actually not even his offer. This is just an affiliate offer. So a good way to kind of liquidate some of that ad spend. And we're going to go into a bunch more examples of that, but I just wanted to show you some examples right off the bat. Guitar niche, Jonathan Boyd. So Jonathan does really well in the guitar niche. This is his opt-in where he's buying traffic from Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all over the place. The Great Guitar Theory Trap. And it's kind of like a sales page, but it's really just an opt-in. So it's a long form opt-in for this lead magnet, which is called the Ultimate Lead Guitar Light Bulb Moment. So basically you'd click here, enter your email address. And then when you do that, it's going to send you to this video, which ends up trying to sell you his course. So he's getting both leads and buyers, which is really smart. Does this make sense to everybody? You guys grasp all that? Cool. All right, I'll jump back to more examples. This is the astrology niche. Astrology, a lot of these are quizzes, which makes sense because if you enter a bunch of information about yourself, then it can tell you a bunch of stuff about yourself. Let me see if I can quickly just kind of do this one. We'll see if it spits out. So quizzes, by the way, are really, really popular for lead gen because they're very compliant. You could run them all over the place. This one's taking a while. So this kind of gives you a whole spit out based on your stuff and tells you, I don't know, all your stuff. When will you meet your true? This is really interesting. I went through this earlier. One of the things that's really cool. So what year will you meet your true love? It doesn't show you any of this, but it gives you the option to buy your whole horoscope for 25 bucks. So a really cool kind of way they do this is just like blurring out some of it and then just kind of teasing you. We found 5 major causes that prevent you from building happy relationships. You'll find a list and full solutions in your horoscope. So they're trying to get you to just buy the whole horoscope. They give you a little bit, like I said up here, whatever your natal chart is. I don't know what any of this means. But they're trying to really get you to buy the full thing. So really kind of cool way to do a quiz. This is a big one that Alternative Daily Up Wellness is running a quiz on, are your poops normal? Save your digestive system from damage. Find out your poop type. This thing's being run over all kinds of email lists and Facebook ads and all kinds of stuff. So just a pretty short quiz, 9 questions. And then you enter your email address. You say, get my score. It basically, after you enter that, it shows a little page where it says, I'm going to send you your score to your email address. And then it sends you to this VSL for what I'm assuming is like a probiotic, some type of gut health supplement that they're trying to sell you. I'm going to check some of the and so what quiz software do you recommend? I am not a expert on quizzes. I would just post that in one of the Facebook groups. Somebody would know better than I would. Does having a lead page before a sales page hurt or help with Facebook compliance? I would say in most examples, it's probably going to help with compliance. Cool. All right, go through some more examples. Again, we're going through lead gen stuff right now. So these are just a bunch of different examples from different niches. This is a day trading one. Day trading kind of is pretty much a biz op kind of offer. So it's teaching 25-year-old dudes who are, I don't know, valet parkers at cars and bartenders and stuff like that. That tends to be a lot of the people who buy this stuff. So how to trade your way to $100,000 from home from someone who's actually experienced trading professionally. So you click this button, enter your email address. It takes you to this VSL that's 27 minutes long and tries to get you to book a call with them where they're probably trying to sell you into some high ticket thing. So if you don't buy and you don't book a call, then you're on this list and you probably get pitched all kinds of other biz op stuff that they have. This is a new opt-in that I'm actually putting together. It's an email copy cheat sheet, how to write simple cash pulling emails in just 17 minutes without struggling or endlessly staring at a blank page. Yeah, pretty basic. I don't actually have an offer after it, mostly just because I'm lazy and I'm okay with losing money up front to get leads. Most people are not okay with that, but I'm fine with it. So yeah, this one, I think this one will do pretty well just because I know email stuff does really, really well. This one is from the men's dating niche. I found this through, I think, Google search. How we turn people pleasers who are worried about running out of things to say to a girl into conversation experts that attract model quality women. So if you click the show me how, it's an opt-in. And then I believe there's an offer after this page, but they're getting your email address, they're getting you onto a list, and they're probably sending you all kinds of offers. There's a quiz from the Social Man, which is Jonathan Hudson's company. Very similar to a lot of the quizzes we'll look at, where you just click one and just clicks to the next. I like the format of this kind of quiz better than stacking all the questions on top of each other. But yeah, basically then they'll give you, I think at the end they would give you a somewhat personal feedback. Yep. So to get the results, you got to put your email address in and they're going to email you the answers. Actually, they'll probably email you the answers, then they'll also show you on the next page what the answers are. This is a great one in the precious metals. So I believe this is Kelly Felix's company. He's a super, super smart marketer. These are mostly run on conservative email lists and conservative television. So they're targeting people who are in retirement, who have some type of retirement fund, and I believe they're getting them to switch a portion of their retirement fund over to physical gold or some type of gold. Really good kind of opt in here. They ask for a lot of information. So they're asking for phone number, email, all that, which is obviously harder to get, but that's a much more committed person if you get all that info. And if you can get them on the phone, you got a much better chance of selling them. Once you opt in there, they send you to this page. There was a countdown timer on here. So basically just tells you to call. This is actually really interesting. So call us before we call you, and we'll give you this free gift, which is a Ronald Reagan silver coin and free 2-day shipping. And for this niche, like conservative men and women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, that's like catnip for them. They're going to definitely want that. So really, really smart way to get them to call you right away and get them on the phone. This one is from AWAI. So they teach copywriters, if you guys aren't familiar with them, your 9-step blueprint to becoming a well-paid copywriter. So you just enter your first name, your email address, send the blueprint. And then this is the thank you page, which they also pitch you on the writer's starter kit for $49. I think it's a really kind of well done page, very simple. Probably could do better with a VSL that really sells them on it, but I think this probably does decently well. Health and fitness quiz, metabolic renewal. They do probably thousands and thousands of leads a day through this quiz. I mean, they're just crushing it. I'll click through it real quick so you can kind of see how it works. This is obviously targeted at women. So it's calculating your hormone type. Got some social proof in here of all the women they've helped. And then your result, hormone type number 2. Where should we send it? Blah, blah, blah. Basically, you need your name and email address, and they'll send it to you. So let's go over questions. Those were all kind of lead gen ones. If my niche is a low ticket offer like affiliate marketing for kids books, how will that be money making, and how to get people with money on that list when kids books are low ticket items? I mean, you'll need to study some of the other people doing that in the niche. So I know there are people out there that are doing children's books that are doing really, really well. The nice thing about doing low ticket stuff, you don't need, if you're just only selling low ticket stuff like children's books that are all less than $20, you don't actually really need people with a ton of money. This is one of the things that kind of happens in the health niche as well. Most of the people that are buying stuff in the health niche are buying $10, $20, $50 things like supplements or ebooks or whatever. So you don't really need to have people with a ton of money. If you're doing a lot higher ticket stuff on the back end, like coaching or consulting or whatever, that's when you really need people with money on your list. So yeah, Nancy, for your question, you could certainly get by with doing low ticket stuff in the kids book niche and just continue to sell them more kids books and a subscription to the kids books and all that type of stuff. Max said, BizOp money making seems like a cash printing niche. I could easily put together my own offer. I don't want to ruin my reputation becoming known as a course guy guru. Have you ever felt like this? No. I don't have any problem being a course guy. I think honestly, the people that care about that, I mean, there's I don't know, a moral high ground that I think a lot of people in YouTube arena and Instagram and all that stand on of like, oh, I don't sell courses, and I don't really see the point. As long as you're selling something that's actually helpful and helps people, like, I'm not really sure what the problem is. Josiah said, what would you suggest for fat loss for busy male professionals? I want to attract leads and buyers. Yeah, so try to figure out some type of how busy professionals or how businessmen can get in shape in just 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, blah, 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 blah. I would just really target the problems in the specific situation that they're in with whatever your lead magnet or your offer is. Willis said, are most of these examples aiming at breaking even on day one? I would say most of them. Yeah, they're trying to. Yeah, these are mostly all buyer gen. Some of them do both. Like obviously the blood pressure one I showed you has an offer afterwards. The guitar one here has an offer afterwards. So a lot of them kind of combine the two. Do you think it's better to have a lot of copy or only a little copy? So yeah, it really varies. If you just want like boom, quick, like grab the email, that's going to be a worse lead than like this one on the guitar page that reads, I don't know, 5 pages worth of copy and then opts in. So that's a stronger lead. You're certainly going to, this is where it kind of matters too, where the traffic is coming from. Because if it's coming from a really good source, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, you can get away more with things like this. But if you're using a shitty traffic source and you're sending to something really short like this, you're probably going to get a lot of tire kickers. Would you still recommend selling to beginners if our customer success rate is 90% newbies? Yeah, I mean, if it's working for you, who am I to tell you not to do it? If you got something that's working, I would recommend keep doing it. Tom, doing both buyer gen and lead gen is ideal, but if we don't have the bandwidth for both, how would you decide what to do first? I think it really depends on what you're trying to build. Like if you're doing something, it also depends on your skills. Like I said, if you're good at creating offers and you can put buyers on your list, 100% you should just put buyers on your list. I would recommend that all the time. If you're good at creating an offer and you can scale an offer, just go for buyers. If not, you can start with lead gen and just kind of start slowly building your list that way. So yeah, a lot of it kind of depends on your skill level. If I want to sell a high ticket offer, should I offer a low ticket offer just after the opt in to make my leads buyers first? Yep, I would do that. I think I probably wouldn't even have, if I was doing high ticket stuff, I wouldn't even have an opt in. I would just do a low ticket offer and then try to upsell them or get them on the phone into a high ticket thing. Busy moms wanting to lose weight. Yep, that's a pretty proven niche. Anything finance isn't break even day zero. Yeah, I mean, it depends what you want to do. A lot of people in finance, tend to go negative to pick up their customers. Jewelry niche, what would be a lead magnet that would attract awesome leads? I think in that niche, I would just straight sell them jewelry. Then you have a jewelry buyer. I wouldn't even mess around with a lead magnet. Yeah, I wouldn't even mess around with a lead magnet for that. I have a lead magnet for my agency called the Email Profits Cheat Sheet. That's got a lot of opt-ins, just having it up on my social media. It's for the e-com niche, considering what it's worth it to drive paid traffic to it. Yeah, I think having an opt-in for an agency is a really smart idea. I'm assuming you're trying to get people to do that you're going to write email copy for. I would make it more targeted towards the business owner, like Email Profits Cheat Sheet. It's kind of there. I would tweak it a little to make it really targeted towards the business owner. Sean, I'm not really sure what you're asking. We'll talk about traffic sources. We'll talk about that. Do you have suggestions on how to structure a quiz content? I would 100% just follow some of the ones that I showed you here. That's a lot more in depth than I can go on in this call, because teaching you how to make an appropriate quiz could be a full 2-day seminar in itself. So I would just find someone who's doing it well and learn from them, or study the ones that are working that I've kind of shared in here. Are there more profitable countries we should focus on? Yeah, I mean, definitely the main ones like UK, Australia, United States, Canada tend to be the best in most niches. Yeah, if you're getting a bunch of people from Bangladesh and Nigeria and stuff like that, a lot of them, just because of the discrepancy in incomes, can't really spend as much money. So yeah, if you're doing something on a platform where you can target the actual countries, I would be targeting kind of the main ones. Which is better for beginners, business to consumer, or B2B? I don't think there's really any difference. I think you can do either. How to deal with spam robo signups? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Business owners for consulting, opt in for a report. Yep, just make sure it's targeted towards them. Make money niche will lead gen work. It can. There's a lot of tire kickers in the make money niche. I would probably just be targeting buyers if I was doing make money stuff, like broad based make money stuff. I would just be targeting buyers. What should be a range of the cost of the low ticket offer before presenting my high ticket offer? My high ticket offer is about $3K. Anything from, I'd say, $49 to $99. We'll get into that more in the rest of this presentation. All right. Yes, there's more examples of all this stuff. You guys are asking questions that we're going to be getting to. So let's keep moving. So a couple things to take away from the lead gen stuff that we just shared. Almost all of these offers have a paid offer right after the opt-in. So this is how they're liquidating their ad cost. And we're going to cover more of this later. Many of them get a more committed buyer, which I showed you the examples of the guitar one and the metabolism quiz, by basically having you input information or read a bunch more copy. So you can get a much more qualified buyer doing that, or a qualified lead. And then lastly, they just give away something that the prospect really wants. So the actual lead magnet that you give away has a huge effect on who gets put on your list. And we're going to go over a bunch of examples of this right now. So keep in mind that the lead magnet you use to get people on your list and has a huge effect on what they're going to buy from you and what kind of person that lead magnet is going to attract. So we'll look at a couple different examples of this for a lead magnet. And when I say lead magnet, this could be the lead magnet for an opt-in, or it literally could just be like a low ticket offer. They're pretty interchangeable. So looking at, let's say, the copywriting niche, because everybody on this call will understand this. How to get 3 copywriting clients in 30 days. This is going to attract newbies and intermediate copywriters, mostly newbies. The 12 best performing opening lines for email copy. In my opinion, this would probably attract serious email marketers. It would attract people who have their own offers and make money from email. So you get a much higher quality buyer or a higher quality lead with this type of lead magnet. How to make your first $1,000 as a copywriter. This is mostly going to be newbies, biz op people, people who are in 9-to-5 jobs looking to escape. So a much kind of lower level person who's not as entwined with copywriting. 5 mistakes that prevent 7-figure business owners from scaling to 8 figures. Now, if you're really trying to attract high quality business owners to your list who are interested in scaling to the next level, something like this, I think would work really well. How to quit client work and make even more money with your own offer. I think if you put this out, type of offer like this for copywriters, so many working copywriters hate working with clients, and this would really appeal to them. So you would attract actual working copywriters and not kind of biz op seekers. So big thing to remember, the lead magnet you choose is going to determine what kind of people you put on your list. So make sure your lead magnet attracts the kind of people you want on your list. I'll show you a couple examples here. So there's different types of lead magnets you can do. A free course is a really good one. And actually I'm working on one as well right now for myself, but, JLD from Entrepreneurs on Fire, he has a free podcast course. And basically this is opt-in. You opt in and he basically just sends you to his free podcast course. So that's a pretty high quality value thing for an opt-in. We have free report. We showed a bunch of examples of that already. So this is the one that Mike Geary was running with, like, what does coffee, alcohol, and beef do to your blood pressure? This is just the example. I mean, this is the email that he uses to send it. And then it's going to this page right here. So a free audio or video you can also do. That's this example in the guitar niche. Free guitar cheat sheet. Actually, sorry, this is actually a cheat sheet. Finally, a system to instantly solo in any key over the entire fretboard without boring music theory guaranteed. Free reading list. So the best books of 2023 on photography. This is a cool little tip I got from Charles Kirkland, who's a really smart media buyer. He's tested this a lot, and book readers tend to be really, really great buyers. So a free reading list tends to target people who turn into really good buyers. So there's a bunch of different examples of lead magnets that you can use. They all work. Like I said, I have a bunch that are free reports. I'm working on one that's a free course. Any of these work. It's just kind of up to you what you want to do. So one other thing to keep in mind, and I'll answer questions once I get to the end of the lead magnet part here, but is your lead magnet compliant on sites like Facebook, YouTube, and Google? So some examples of this: if I had a lead magnet on how to make $10,000 a month as a copywriter, that's probably not going to be able to run on Facebook, maybe on YouTube, probably not going to be able to run on Google, because they don't allow income claims like that. you would be able to say how to get 3 new clients in the next 30 days, because that's about getting clients. It's not about income. So if your offer lead magnet is compliant, you can really scale it on more traffic sources. This is not a big deal at the beginning when you're brand new and you're just trying to get things rolling. But as you scale up and get better at it, if your thing is not compliant, you can't like, okay, take it from YouTube to Facebook to email to you get kind of stuck because you can only run it in so many places. I put a little note down here. Quizzes are really good for this. Because quizzes are just seen as like these fun little things. So Google's fine with you running quizzes, Facebook's fine with you running quizzes, YouTube is fine with you running quizzes. They all tend to be pretty good with you running a quiz. One last thing we'll go over with lead magnets. This is actually really, really cool. And a lot of you guys will like this. So you can test your lead magnet before you even create it to see if it's going to be good. I've done this a ton of times. I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can do it. So there's 3 ways you can do it. One is through SurveyMonkey, and this works if you already have a list or you already have an audience. You could also do it through Facebook ads, and you can also do it through an email list if you have a list or an audience. So I'm going to show you examples of how this works. So here's the SurveyMonkey one. Now, I did this once for a course, and as you can see here, this is the survey that was sent out to my list. This is when Stefan and I were still partners. We were going to create a bunch of courses. I sent out, I think it's 9 different course ideas. You want to make sure whatever you're sending, all these things, you describe them in depth. And if you're doing it with a lead magnet, there obviously wouldn't be a price here. You can just say they're all free. But here's what's really interesting. Basically, all we want them to say is, I would purchase this or I would not purchase this. So if you're doing a lead magnet, you just change it to, I would like to have this, or I'm not interested in this, something like that. So first one, how to create your first offer. This would be a course for anyone who wants to create their own offer. We'll walk you through important steps when it comes to creating a winning offer, showing exactly what you need to do and what you need to avoid to make your offer a winner. And then they would click, I would purchase this, I would not. So next thing, copy templates for sales pages, emails, ads, upsells, headlines, and more. This would be done for you copy templates that are proven to work in a variety of niches. You'll get the template and an example of each template being used, blah, 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 blah. So there's 9 different course ideas. People went through, picked them, and then I got the results. And so as you can see, this one on how to create a course, 70% said they would like that, which is solid. Advanced copy secrets, 56%, not very good. This one, 47%, which is selling health supplements. This one's 64%, but the big winner was, I'll find the big winner. Emails that sell. That one had 94%. So anything with like email tends to do really, really well to my list. So this was not surprising. And it's one of the reasons I've done a lot more courses and stuff around emails, because I know it just keeps working over and over again. So you can use this same kind of survey and test different ideas for your lead magnet or for your low ticket offer, especially if you have a list or a Facebook group that you could kind of put this survey up with. So that's one way to test it before you even create it. Another way is through Facebook ads. So very, very simple. Just these Facebook ads that they run on the right, these little small ones. If you just tested the name of the lead magnet or the name of the course that you're going to do, and then just simply send it to like an Amazon page or something safe like that, you're not worried about making sales. All you want to do is just look at the click-through rate. Let's say ad 1 is how to write a sales page in 1 day. Ad 2 is how to land 3 copywriting clients in the next 30 days. And then you just run that for a little bit and you'd figure out pretty quickly which one people want more just based on which one's getting clicks. Last one is, this is what Joel Marion and Mike Geary do, which is reverse engineering what is working to their email list. So if you have an email list, you can do this. Basically turn your best email subject lines into a lead magnet. So what yellow bananas do to your body. This is one that Joel ran for a long, long time. Let me see if I have it here. Yep. sorry, what bananas do to your body. Shocking. So this is all it was. It went to an opt-in. This was literally just a subject line that Joel had run before and tested and got a really, really good open rate. So then he just turned that into a free report. Same thing. Mike Geary did that with this one. 9 foods that fight deadly visceral fat. Eat these daily. That was just a subject line that he used for, I think, like a blog post or something. And then it got really good open rates. So he turned it into a report. Joel did it with this one. Always eat after 7 p.m. Here's why. And he literally just turned this into a little PDF report that the name of it was literally called Always Eat After 7 p.m. So these simple little tests can really ensure that you have a winning lead magnet before you actually spend time creating it. Now, I'm sure there's a bunch of questions on the lead stuff, so let's tap into that. Nicholas said, I have a client with big list and few buyers. We sell high ticket coach training. Should we scrub the list? Just focus on bringing more buyers in from here on out. I don't think you need to scrub the list. You can try selling them other stuff. Maybe they'll buy lower ticket stuff. Maybe they'll buy, I don't know, live events. Maybe they'll buy one-day trainings. You really got to figure out what they want. And then kind of create the offers from there. You can do affiliate offers, just try a bunch of different stuff and see. I wouldn't like just get rid of the people on the list, definitely, but I would focus on bringing in more buyers. Willis said, do you have any examples of list building for supplements? Most of the supplement offers, just try to get buyers and don't do lead magnets. And you'll see why in a little bit when I show you kind of what they buy on the back end. So people that buy supplements on the front end are the best at buying supplements on the back end. This is why most of them just focus on buyers. Cynthia said, I have a new client with a large email list and few buyers. Would it make more sense to start and focus on targeted emails to buyers? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I said to the other person, you could certainly try testing new stuff. You could try testing affiliate offers. You might just not have hit on the right things yet. Or they potentially could just not be a good buyer list. It really takes a lot of testing. Just test other stuff, test affiliate offers, test different offers from yourself or from your client. Low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, and just kind of see what clicks. And then once you find the thing that clicks, then you just kind of keep going down that path and keep pressing on that. That's kind of what I do with my list. Justin, are you going to talk about the effect of different types of lead magnets? Yes. What lead magnet would attract high quality newbies? I have no idea what niche you're talking about, so it's hard to tell you. What type of low ticket offer would you recommend to deliver prior to a high ticket offer for a program that saves, improves marriages, one-on-one sessions, group sessions? Some type of how to save your marriage, how to stop your divorce, something like that. That's probably what I would focus on. So could be a book, could be an ebook. That's what I would do. What are your thoughts on giving away a chapter of a product to test its viability? Not a big fan of that. I think if you're going to test the viability of an offer, I mean, you can test it to your list, test it to a smaller portion of your list, maybe at like a different price. I think that's probably a better way to give you an idea of if it's going to work or not. Starting with a 0-person list, how would you test the lead magnet idea for free? You're probably not gonna be able to test the lead magnet idea for free. If you want to test it, I mean, if you have no money and you have no way of testing, then I would probably just see what's working with someone else and do something similar to theirs, because you're not gonna be able to test it for free if you have no list. Mohammed said, Justin, do you do both? How much percentage in your list are buyers? I do lead gen for my list. But like I said, I'm very different in the sense that I don't need to make money on day one. I'm okay with just investing money and making it back 6 months later or a year later or whatever. Yeah, so I'm perfectly fine not making money on day one. Tim said, do you think social sites like Facebook or LinkedIn are good for organic leads? Yep, we're going to talk about that. Yes, high production of VSL improves conversions. Jay said, my client is in the ClickBank affiliate media buying niche with a case study as the magnet. We're trying to sell private, a group through emails on the back end. I think it would be a good idea to just offer a group immediately after download. Yeah, you should definitely be offering them something right after the download. Something at least like low ticket, under $100. I would do that. Business owners do tend to be better leads than copywriters just because they usually make more money and they're more stable and they're not going to go be doing something else. Whereas a lot of copywriters, especially newer copywriters, have kind of like one foot out the door and are just kind of like playing around with copywriting. Once they get more serious, they become much better customers. But yeah, in general, business owners tend to be better. How do I make sure that business owners sign up? I mean, that's pretty much everything we've been covering for the last hour and 20 minutes. So you should be able to figure that out by now. We're going to go over more examples though. All right. Here we go. We went over lead magnets. We're going to drop into talking about buyer offers. So putting people on your list that are buyers. Like I said, you can do both. You can focus on one, really kind of up to you. But I will restate it again. Buyers are much more valuable than leads. Someone who pulls out their credit card and even spends $10 is a much better quality person to have on your list than a lead. So most kind of offers to get people on the list, to build a list, tend to be somewhere from $5 to $99 is what I see pretty much all over the place. We're going to go over a bunch of different examples of this. In the survival niche, survival offer, this was the sister company of my old supplement company. So 4Patriots, buy one, get two free survival food giveaway event. So you're getting these 72-hour survival food kits, buy one, get two free. You can see the price down here, $27 plus $14.95 shipping and handling, so $41. So that's what I would consider a low ticket buyer. Pretty long form sales page, bunch of bonuses they're giving away. But I can tell you from experience, these offers work really, really well, and put good buyers on the list. Another example, this is from the kind of gardening alternative health, how to grow your very own at-home healing pharmacy. This is a free plus shipping offer, I believe. Hardcover book. I think so. So you get your free copy. Pretty basic sales page, showing you how to do things like raise your own chickens, grow your own plants, growing plants in your home, hydroponic gardening, the 5-gallon bucket hydroponic system, all kinds of cool little things. This is a good way to build a list to sell people future alternative health and gardening and remedies and stuff like that. This is in the BizOp real estate niche. This is a $97 offer. This offer is just crushing. They've been running a bunch of different offers like this for years and years. Full VSL, selling you a $97 product. What they do is I believe they sell the leads on the back end to coaching programs. So they're trying to put people into a coaching program that's $5,000 or $10,000. So it's really smart to charge $97 up front because you want people with money. And if they were doing this for like $10, they would get a lot of tire kickers. Whereas if your end goal is to really sell them into some type of high ticket coaching, high ticket course or something, you want them to spend a little more money on the front end. So that's a good BizOp offer. Not sure why this one went away. Well, you can kind of, I have no idea why this ClickFunnels thing showed up, but this is a free plus shipping offer for the gun niche that Perry Belcher and his company runs. So it's a hat. You can kind of see it behind it. It says "come and take it," which is a pretty common phrase that gun people say. And then the upsell puts you into some type of continuity program where you're getting more like t-shirts and hats and stuff like that. It's a monthly kind of expense. But that business crushes. They have like, I think it's like 2 or 3 million person email list. So it's huge. Golf. Got Mr. Nick Faldo here. This is an offer basically teaching you how to add more distance to your drives, rapidly lower scores without spending hours on the range. It's kind of what every golfer wants. This is a good low ticket offer. Let's see. I think it's probably like $57. So it's kind of video courses. Obviously, like with golf, you need to have video so they can understand what's going on. But yeah, a good low ticket course. I don't think with the golf stuff they really sell anything high ticket. I think it's mostly a lot of these courses that are under $100 tend to be what they sell. Here's a financial one around retirement. Basically stuff about getting rich from stocks. Pretty basic kind of stuff. These are very, very common financial niche. Any of the Agora companies, they're all running very, very similar offers like this. Usually they're $49, and then they usually offer like a premium version for like, I think $79 if you want to subscribe for 2 years to the newsletter. This one is photography. I've seen this running kind of all over the place. Not anywhere near as heavy direct response, but I think it's a $49 course. So just kind of an intro course to get people onto your list. Can sell them coaching, stuff like that on the back end, teach them how to get clients. So lots of stuff he can do there. Pretty clean kind of page though. This is one that Newsmax is running for social security stuff. Get up to 188,000 more dollars from Social Security. Very low ticket kind of offer that I think they're running on Facebook and a couple other places. So just lots of bullets. And then you're getting some type of newsletter from them. I want to say this is like a $4 kind of offer. Yeah, it's a free plus shipping one. So it's $4.97. Then you get a 3-month trial to this newsletter. Yeah. So a good way for them to kind of build up their list. All right, a couple more. Again, we're going over buyer offers. This is a men's dating niche offer. I found this one through Google search. He's got a good VSL here, and he's just selling this book for $4.95. And I believe after you buy this, there's multiple upsells, and then they're trying to sell you into live coaching as well, which is pretty high ticket. Like the live coaching usually in this niche is anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000. But yeah, this is a pretty good sales page for a kind of $5 offer. Paleo Hacks, my buddy Dave Senek's company. Lots of different offers around cooking and cookbooks. So this one is for, I think, like a slow cooker, crock pot kind of cookbook. Yep. All of theirs are free plus shipping offers. So I'll scroll down to the bottom and you can kind of see. So all you're paying is shipping. So $9.95 total. This is one I've seen a lot running on Facebook for the dance. I guess you could kind of put this in the relationship niche. It's basically like a dancing thing for couples. So basically have flirty date night dancing in your living room. It's got a bunch of good reviews, and I think they're running some decent volume for what's, to me, is probably it's not a huge niche by any means, but they're making money. $67 product, getting them on their list. You can easily sell them more kind of dance videos on the back end. Cool little offer. So I got a couple more. I think I got two more here. Alternative Daily, they're a huge player in the alternative remedies kind of niche. This is a whole thing about apple cider vinegar for health, home, beauty, and more. So it's basically all these uses for apple cider vinegar, from losing weight to cleaning your kitchen counter to whatever else you can do with it. And this is very similar to all their other stuff, free plus shipping. It should send me the page. Yeah. Anyways, you see it. So free plus shipping kind of offer. Why is my computer freezing? All right, last one, then we'll take some questions. Another survival one from 4Patriots. This is a sun kettle. Honestly, don't really have any idea what it is, but I think it like heats water. Yep. So basically can boil water whenever you have sun. There you go. So this is a low ticket $49 offer that they're running on everything from Facebook to YouTube to Google search. And like I said, $49, then you could buy a couple of them if you want. So that would increase the average order value to over 100. And then they obviously have upsells to other big things, but that's a really good example of low ticket buyer offers that are working pretty well. I'll take some questions on buyer offers in a second. I just want to go over this because this is really important. So things to know about buyers. As we said before, a $50 buyer is much better than a free plus shipping buyer. Also, what they buy on the front end is exactly what they'll buy more of on the back end. This is something I wish I would have learned a lot sooner. I'm going to show you a bunch of examples of this in a second, so you know exactly what I mean. $1,000 offer is going to bring you a lot of great buyers, but your list is going to be very small. So if you're putting people on your list with like a really high ticket offer, yeah, they're going to be great buyers, but you're going to have a really small list. So you're better off making that first offer under $100, and then selling the high ticket stuff on the back end, whether that's selling to the list, whether that's getting them on the phone, however you want to do it. All right, we're going to look at how what people buy on the front end and the back end affect, or what they buy on the front end affects what they buy on the back end. I want to get your guys's input on a couple of these things. I'm gonna pull up the chat. So Paleo Hacks cookbook buyers. So if somebody bought a cookbook on the front end, let's say a keto diet or a keto desserts or something, what do you think they would be likely to buy on the back end? Type it in the chat. Let me know. So we got fitness program, cookbook bundle, more cookbooks, recipes, paleo meal plans, ingredients or muffin trays, knives, meal plan, more recipes, more keto recipes, workout plan, meal plan, cooking course, meals by meal. All right. All kinds of great suggestions. So what was really interesting about this? So originally, when they were getting these buyers, they tried to sell them supplements on the back end. And these people do buy supplements, but they do not buy them at a high rate. But what they do buy at a high rate is more cookbooks. So they bought a cookbook on the front end. They're going to buy cookbooks on the back end. And they also buy a lot of kitchen and cooking stuff. So knives, pots, pans, things like that. So that's a very different buyer than the supplement buyer. And it took Dave and his team kind of a long time to figure that out, because they kept trying to sell supplements, because every other health business sells supplements on the back end. But for their buyers, the cookbook buyers, it's a different type of buyer. It's not really a supplement buyer. They kind of realized eventually they are kitchen buyers. That's what they are. So they buy things that have to do with cooking and preparing meals. So it's really important to figure out, like I said, what they buy on the front end really determines what they're going to buy on the back end, which is why you got to put a lot of thought into what you're selling them on the front end. So let's look at another example. Anti-aging supplement buyers. What do you think they buy on the back end? Feel free to pop it in the chat. Botox. More supplements, skin cream, hormones, anti-aging cream, serums. DNA testing kit, stem cell. Cool. So I can tell you, after having sold anti-aging supplements myself, originally we tried to sell them other supplements like blood pressure, blood sugar, all that type of stuff. We did not get a whole lot of buyers when we tried to do that. But what they did buy was more bottles of the anti-aging supplement that they already bought. They also bought other anti-aging supplements. So the anti-aging supplement buyer, we really found out after years of doing this, is we know they care about looking and feeling younger. So what they're really going to buy more of on the back end is anti-aging supplements, powders, creams, cookbooks, all type of stuff like that. So everything on the back end really had to be focused around anti-aging. We were making the mistake of like, okay, we have an anti-aging supplement. Now let's try to fill out the rest of our supplement line. We'll do a blood pressure one. We'll do a back or a pain one. We'll do a diet or a blood sugar one. But that's not who they are. They're anti-aging buyers. So they want more anti-aging stuff. So big kind of point here is you want to give a lot of thought to the lead magnet or the offer that you use on the front end, because that's going to influence what they buy from you on the back end. All right. Questions. What questions you got? We went over a lot there. So we went over a lot about lead gen and about buyer gen. What questions do you guys have about this? Feel free to pop it in the chat. If you posted a question earlier and I didn't get to it yet, feel free to post it again. and I'll go through it now. Nicole said, when you sell anti-aging, do you sell it with a reverse aging message? Just thinking how prevention is a tough sale. Yes. So really the hook is kind of a second shot at youth. That's really what people who are buying anti-aging stuff want. So if they're 60 years old, they want to be 40 again. That's really kind of what you're selling them. Angela said, hold on. Oh, Willis said, for anti-aging supplement buyers, could you lead with info products before the supplements? Yeah, you definitely can do that. A lot of I believe the Agora New Market Health company does that. Some of the other old school kind of direct response companies do that. The only issue you run into with that is it's harder to make the numbers work when you're doing an info product up front because you're competing against Golden Hippo and all the other supplement sellers who have a much higher average order value. So it's tougher to make the numbers work on it. But yeah, you can do that. I personally, if I was going to do it, I would just sell the supplement. Angel said, what are your thoughts? $97 front end BizOp course, back end 5K BizOp, and 10K BizOp plus self-development. Yeah, I think if you're going to do a front end BizOp course for $97, I would do an upsell for probably $297. That would be my first upsell because you're going to need that to make the AOV work. And then I would try to get them on a phone and sell them some type of anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000. Just kind of depends what price range you want to do. That's how I would do it. And that back end one has to be much more done for them. It's got to have like tons of help and coaching and all that. You can't just leave them on their own for it because that's what they really want. They want most of it done for them. Would that alternative health offer be compliant on Facebook, or would you have to seek out other traffic sources? I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but yeah, most of the alternative health ones are running on Facebook. My backend product is a course for saving marriages, including one-on-one live coaching and group live coaching. The front end low ticket offer should be a mini course or my backend product. Front end should be some type of book or ebook. And then you could have an upsell that would be you could have an upsell that would be more like exactly what to say. So they're gonna be all nervous about what they say or what they're supposed to say. So you give them like exact like sentences and lines and stuff to say to help save their marriage. And then I think after that, I would either try to get them on the phone or you could send them to some type of webinar, VSL that sells them on live coaching with you. That's what I would do. Tim said, what about personality lists like yours? You sell and could sell more than just email trainings. How does one approach building a list when there's multiple different topics you love to cover? Well, I mean, you kind of got to pick one to start out. It depends how tight. Like, I mean, I sell obviously email stuff. I sell copy stuff. I sell this one's a list building thing. So they're all kind of in the same general area. I'm not selling productivity stuff or time management stuff. That's not really my wheelhouse. So I would say pick 1, 2, 3 kind of things that are all kind of in the similar space that you can kind of sell. Randy said, how are these guys branding themselves? Are they showing up in the customer's email box as a company and personality? It really depends. Some people do it as a person. Like my email list is me. It's a personality. Other ones will do it straight for, like the Four Patriots, the survival one is mostly from a company. They have like a spokesperson, but a lot of their stuff is from the company. Most of them have some type of person, usually whether it's the founder or the managing editor or whatever it is. If you would sell a product that teaches sales skills, would you target people working in a sales position or business owner? So that's the thing. It depends what you want to do, because you could sell to people who are already salespeople and teach them how to sell better. You could do a biz op offer to people who are not in sales and teach them how to get into sales. So it really depends what market you want to sell to. You could, yeah. Ali, I'm not, that's pretty confusing. I can't really figure out what you're trying to say there. Angela said, how would you approach a publishing coaches who have personality? Would you be the guru on the list or them be the like mind valley so it's not hooked to just one coach? Risk is they say bye-bye and do it on their own. How do you mitigate that? Yeah, I mean, that's always the risk with working with someone. They could leave, they could die. That is a risk. It depends. I guess it really just depends what your kind of personal risk tolerance is. And it depends how well you work with that person. Are they easy to work with? Are they flaky? Are they a pain in the ass? Do they want to build something great? Do they just want to cash a check? There's a million questions you need to answer before I could tell you if it's smart to partner with them. For a $5,000 book coaching program, would a one-day boot camp be a good idea at $297? Book coaching, I'm assuming you're teaching people how to write a book. I would have, no, my front end would be like literally, I would sell some type of book or ebook on how to write your own book. And then I would have an upsell that gives them like templates to write a book. And then I would try to get them on a phone call or webinar to sell the $5,000 program. What is your favorite free lead magnet for the dad bod sub niche? I mean, it's pretty simple. I would just put something in there on I mean, it's just like writing a headline, really. It'd be like how men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s can get rid of their dad bod and get a leaner stomach, bigger arms, and a barrel chest in just 8 weeks, something like that. Any insights on supplement buyers for women's weight loss? Convert to supplement buyer for anti-aging. Any insights? Weight loss buyers tend to be the worst buyers in the supplement niche. They don't cross over that great to a lot of other stuff. They're pretty flaky. Whereas anti-aging type buyers cross over to other stuff a lot better. You also see this with very specific like problems. So like somebody buying nerve pain supplements or back pain stuff, they don't tend to cross over that great to other stuff either, because they're really just buying to try to fix that problem. So anti-aging tend to be really good buyers because they cross over to a lot of different things. I'm not sure what you're asking, Angela, with 97 being the light version of the 297. All right. PM said, I'm targeting business owner contractors, but I currently have a webinar training as a lead magnet that's not generating any leads so far, but click through rate is good. How would you test the lead magnet offer if you had no email list on money making industry? I'm not really sure what you're asking here, man. I mean, if your current webinar is not working, if it's not generating any leads, then either the ads or the hook on your webinar is not appealing to your target market. So you're not hitting on the thing that they really want if you're not getting any leads. Either that or your ads are really bad, one of the two. Angela, I'm not really sure what you're asking on this. So you have to give me more context. If the low ticket offer is a book, how much should I charge? If then I want to sell my high ticket course for saving marriages. So I mean, you could do the book for anywhere from, I don't know, say $8 to $20. And then let's say you want to sell your high ticket course for saving marriages. That could be anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000. It's really, really up to you, man. What are the main elements to create a front end offer that converts? I mean, having a good offer, honestly, just model all the other stuff that's working in that niche. That's the easiest way to do it. So figure out what's working in the niche, model what they're doing, what's the appeal that they're using, what's the benefits they're using, what type of offer do they have, what price are they using? Those are kind of the big ones. And then really study kind of the lead that they're using on their sales page. Romy said, I have my own product, 40-year-old mom starting your online business in 14 days. The back end is done for you version, but not really selling. What would you recommend as a back end? I mean, the done for you version is always going to be the best. So you're either not selling it correctly or you have bad buyers on your list who can't afford it. So done for you always works really, really well in biz op, which you're in, teaching people how to start their business. Mohammed, you really just you gotta know your market, and then you're gonna create the lead magnet based on that market. That's really what it's all about. What do you think about case study lead magnet? Helped a client to sell over 17,000 tickets for his live business events. Could it be a good lead magnet? I wouldn't term it as a case study because that's not very sexy, but I would really, you could use that in the lead magnet, like the actual PDF, but it would be something more around like how to put 1,000 people into a live event for very little money or something like that. Like that type of thing would be appealing. What do you mean as an ebook? So a low ticket offer would be the first thing that they would buy. So an ebook, it could be a hardcover book. Should I talk about the thing I'm offering at the back end? You can, yeah, you can definitely mention if they want more help, they can go to this page and work with you one-on-one, that type of thing. So, I mean, there's no minimum and maximum that you could charge for stuff. As I said, like low ticket offers, you tend to want them to be between $0 and $99, so somewhere in there. I would do a lot of research on what people in your niche are charging. So I can't just give you an answer and be like, you should charge $10. That's not really how it works. So you need to do research on what people in your niche are charging already and what's working. So it could be $10, could be 20, it could be $40. You really can't go wrong somewhere in there. So I would suggest studying what everybody in your niche is doing. Would it be a good idea to create an anti-aging info product and then sell supplements on the back end? Yeah, that's what New Market Health does with their anti-aging newsletter. I personally would just sell the supplements up front. What are your thoughts on $97 get your first agency client offer? Then the $297 upsell is how to get to consistent 2K to 5K plus per month. I would do $97, get your first agency client, and then the $297 upsell would still be about getting the clients, but it would be more done for them. So give them templates and a bunch of shit like that that would make it easier for them to get the client. That would convert better than, I think, getting to 2K, 5K a month kind of thing. Josiah said, who's crushing it in the body transformation coaching for men niche right now? I don't really know. If you just scroll Facebook and start clicking on stuff, you'll start seeing a lot of ads for that though. My invite only opt-in for my email list. Yeah, it definitely worked, but if you're gonna do something like that, you have to be pretty known. Honestly, at this point, I probably wouldn't have done it. I think it's better to just build a bigger list using some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about. Have I gotten an email list analysis done on my email? Not my current email list. When we had our health email list, we got an analysis done where they broke it down for, yeah, demographics and age and where they lived and all kinds of stuff like that. I forget the name. I think it was like Tower Data. I think they have a new name now, but yeah, you can find places pretty easily. Cold email for lead gen. No, I have not. All right, we're going to move on. How's this so far for you guys? Have you gotten good stuff out of it? Are you learning stuff? Awesome. Great. All right. Well, we're gonna finish super strong here. I got a bunch more good stuff for you. And just a reminder, if you gotta step away for any reason, you guys are all getting the recording for this, so you can watch it later if you need to. All right. So monetizing your lead gen on the front end or your front end offer. So as with a lot of this stuff, this section could be an entire three-day seminar in itself. So we're going to be covering the basics on monetizing. But here's the whole reality of it. In order to get more leads or more buyers onto your list, you need to be able to make as much money as possible on day 0. So that's the first day. And here's why. So if you're spending $1,000 a day on ads and only bringing in $400 in sales, that means you're losing $600 per day. And most people can't afford to lose $600 a day when they're acquiring leads or buyers. So what's your goal? Your goal is to shoot for break even on day 0. This is when you're doing paid traffic, whether you're doing lead gen, whether you're doing buyer gen, you're trying to break even on your ad spend with paid traffic. So what that means is if you spend $1,000 on ads today, you want to bring in $1,000 in profit a day. So that's what's break even. It's about 1,000 on ads. You brought in 1,000 in profit. You got 20 new customers and you in reality didn't spend any money. That's really, really good. That's what you want. So one thing I want to make really, really obvious to you guys, you're not trying to make money when you do lead gen or buyer gen So when you're getting that first initial buyer or that first initial lead, you're not trying to profit off of that and make all your money there. The goal is to really build your list. So you should be perfectly okay with breaking even and just putting a new person on your list. That's really the whole goal here, because all the money is made once that person is on your list. That's where all the profit is made. So you just want to get them onto your list without spending a whole bunch of money. All right. So we're talking about monetizing these people. So two numbers that are the most important when you're generating leads or buyers: conversion rate on the front end, average order value of each person that buys. So conversion rate is just how well your sales page is converting. If you send 100 people and one person buys, that's a 1% conversion rate. Average order value is just how much money the people spend. So if someone comes and buys your product or opts in, how much money do they spend on that first kind of meeting with you? Is it 40 bucks, 100 bucks, 200 bucks, whatever it is? Those are the two numbers you got to really pay attention to. So if your offer or your lead gen converts at a high rate and it has a high AOV, you're going to be able to buy all the traffic you can handle. That's really what you're shooting for. So knowing that, how do we get a high AOV on day zero? So I'll show you a couple quick examples of this. With some of these examples we've looked at already. So lead magnet. A lead magnet goes from lead magnet to offer to upsells. And then some of them have the optional addition of adding phone sales. So I showed you the one from Mike Geary. This is blood pressure opt-in. Let's say he runs a bunch of traffic to this. You immediately get sent to this VSL afterward that he is an affiliate for. So he's probably making, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 bucks a sale off anybody who buys something there. And then after that, there's probably going to be more bottles of whatever supplement that is that they bought for the blood pressure offer. And then after that, there's optional phone sales. And I'm pretty sure that offer is running phone sales. So after somebody buys, there will be a customer service person that calls them up and thanks them for their purchase and then tries to get them to buy more stuff from them. So that's how you would monetize lead gen offer in a nutshell. One thing I did note down here, like, that's really cool that Mike's doing that I think would appeal to a lot of you. So this is Mike's opt-in. He's running this. He's getting all the leads. This is just an affiliate offer. This is not his offer. He's literally just sending them to this other offer to kind of liquidate some of the cost of the traffic he's buying. So that's a pretty easy way to have an offer after your opt-in if you don't want to create your own offer. So that was the lead gen. Now let's look at an offer. So with an offer, we're looking at, you have the actual offer, you have the upsells, and then you have optional phone sales on the back end. So this is one that my friend Blake was running in the men's dating niche a long time ago. So $39, basically teaching guys how to use Tinder. I think it was a $39 course. I'll find it. 37. There you go. $37 course. So they buy that. First upsell is a kind of done for you messages to send to women. So here's exactly what to say to her once you match with her, kind of thing. I think that's $97. And then he had a downsell if they said no to that. So if they said no, basically took away a couple of the things out of the upsell where it was like, here's all these lines you can say to the women that you'll get good responses from. He took like half of them out and sold it as a downsell to the people who said no. And then on the back end, they did a little bit of phone sales, high ticket coaching, in-person stuff that was pretty high ticket. So like the in-person coaching stuff was, I want to say $6,000 or $7,000. He'd do little boot camps with 5 guys at it, make 25, 30 grand doing those. So those really obviously help the average order value. And the whole point really is to get people on the list so that he could get them into the high ticket coaching stuff where he really made a lot of money on. All right, we'll do some questions now. That was kind of a good overview of monetizing these offers. If you got questions on lead gen and offer monetization, feel free to pop them in the chat. How much is a high conversion rate? So this really depends on price and traffic source. So there's no way you can just say 1% is good or 5% is good. If you have, let's say you have a $97 price point and you're going from cold traffic, if you can get 1%, you're doing pretty well. If you got a $5 offer, you're probably going to need about 10% conversion rate to make that work. Tom said, best place to find affiliate products like the Mike Geary example. Get on the list. So you're going to get links to all these examples that I share. Get on all the lists of the ones that are in the niche you're in and just study the offers that they're sending. That's the best way to do it. Mateo said, tips on a possible email sequence to turn a simple lead into a buyer in the shortest possible time. I mean, you could do a 3 kind of email sequence that would be really your best email creatives. If you have email creatives that you know work or that are affiliate offers that you know work, I would just send those for like 3 days straight. Really just lots of proof, trying to turn people into a buyer. That's one of the biggest things. Like, if you're getting them on your list to learn piano, just sending stories every day about students of yours that have went from not being able to play piano and now they're playing this song. You could just use those over and over again. So I like doing that kind of approach. Which approach would you recommend to someone just starting out to build a list? I'm gonna hold off on that one, Olgo, because there's gonna be a lot that we're gonna talk about in relation to that coming up. How many upsells, downsells would be too many? I've seen some guys do like 7 to 9 steps, which seems excessive. Yeah, I tend to only do 2 or 3. I think it gets a little extreme when you're doing 7 or 8 upsells. So yeah, somewhere 2 or 3. Patty said, aside from running paid traffic, were you going to cover other methods of how to get new subscribers on your list? Yes, I am. That's coming up next. Jonathan said, Facebook does not always like opt-in pages that go to affiliate offers. What is your experience on this? Yeah, I think that's a good spot where quizzes do really well. Because Facebook tends to be okay with quizzes. For an agency, since everything we sell is high ticket, is it okay in your opinion to build a list of the lead magnet and lose money and we can make a profit? Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what I do with my list. I just lose money and then I just know I'm going to make it up over the next 6 to 12 months. So I'm okay with that. Darren said, using an affiliate offer to hit break even on ad cost. What was that part in your sales email about building a list in the next 2 weeks for $0? Nope, that part's coming up at the end. Besides using affiliate offers as upsells to help break even, what else would you recommend? It depends on the product. So a couple things that work really, I have a really in-depth video on this on my YouTube channel on upsells about what works well. So I'd highly recommend, if you're struggling with upsells and trying to figure out what to sell, go watch that. But the 2 things that work really well are selling them more of what they just bought. So if they just bought the anti-aging supplement, they just bought the survival food, sell them more of it. So a bigger size, bigger quantity. Done for you also works really well with information products. So if I'm teaching you how to be a copywriter, the first upsell could be templates that make copywriting easier, or I'm teaching how to get clients. The first upsell could be templates that make getting clients easier. So those are two kind of good rules of thumb for upsells. But like I said, I have a whole YouTube video on this. Just I would go watch that if you're struggling with upsells. Why have you chosen to not monetize on day one? Does it hurt credibility if you want to do personality driven emails? I have chosen not to monetize on day one simply because I'm more playing the long game and I just want to get people on my list and reading my emails and enjoying what I'm sending them so they open every day. And I'm okay with, like I said, I'm okay with spending money today and getting people on my list and then not getting money from them 6 months from now, a year from now. Like I said, I'm going for the long game here. I want people who are on my list for a year, 2 years, 5 years. So it's a little different strategy than some of the other people. Cool. All right, so we'll jump into traffic sources. We're going to go over paid and organic. So one thing to really remember here, different traffic sources produce different quality buyers. This is really, really important. Not all traffic sources are the same. One thing to keep in mind with list building, in my experience, it usually does not happen overnight. So a good example of this is my list. So I started my email list in 2018. It had 150 people on it. In 2019, it had about 600. In 2020, it had 1,700. 2021, it had close to 3,000. Last year had a little over 8,000. Now it's got a little over 9,000. So my list is not huge by any means. There's a lot of people in the kind of make money space that have 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 person list. Mine is quite small compared to all those, but it still makes me really good money. That's kind of one thing to keep in mind. You can still make really good money, 6 to 7 figures with a small list, especially if you sell high ticket. If you sell high ticket stuff, you don't, and you're good at selling it, you don't really need a huge list. Like I said, my buddy Blake, who was doing the dating stuff, I think his list might have been 1,000 people, maybe 1,200, and he's sold a bunch of them on a 5-day dating boot camp with him for $7,000. I mean, that really changes the economics of things if you do high ticket stuff. All right, so let's look at traffic sources. We're looking at two different things: paid traffic and organic traffic. So when it comes to paid, there's obviously all kinds of stuff. There's Facebook, YouTube, Google search, native traffic. My favorite for finding people with money tends to be these three. So affiliates, and when I say affiliates, I mean from email. Affiliates using their thank you pages, and then radio. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of all these. So the affiliates that send me email traffic, whether it's about an offer or a lead magnet, in my opinion, is the highest quality people I get on my list by far. It's higher quality than Facebook. It's higher quality than YouTube. And if you're coming from a list that already had, like if Ian promotes my stuff and Ian's list has a lot of buyers on it, then he's putting a bunch of buyers onto my list. That's really who I want. And the other big thing here, which a lot of people don't think about, email affiliates are already sending you people who read newsletters. And you don't get that as much with a lot of other traffic sources. So like there's a lot of people who would buy from you on Facebook or YouTube who aren't used to reading emails every day. Well, if you're getting stuff from an email affiliate, you're getting people who read emails every single day and they're kind of used to that. And that's the type of person I really want to have on my list. Does that make sense to you guys? That's a really key point there. Oh yeah, Kim's asking how I built my list so much. So basically, it was all through affiliates, paying affiliates per opt-in that they sent me. That was how I had the big jump in my email list size. I'm gonna go into that a little more, but one thing I wanted to show you here was, so back when I had my supplement, Patriot Power Greens, when we acquired customers through email versus Facebook, the average order value from email buyers was $215. The average order value from Facebook buyers was like $170. So huge difference in the quality of the buyers there. I mean, that's like 30, 40% more money that they're spending on the front end. And that means on the back end, that holds true as well. So they just spend more money. One thing to keep in mind when it comes to paying affiliates. So if you're going to pay affiliates to mail for your lead magnet or mail for your offer, here's kind of how I do it. When I do a lead magnet, I'll have them pay the affiliate per the lead that they send me. So when Kim or Ian or Rich Sheffrin or whoever promotes my email list, I usually pay them per lead for however many people they send me. I think this last time I did $10 per lead. I'm probably going to bump it up a little higher this year. But I know based on my economics that I can make $10 a lead work. When you're paying affiliates to promote your offer, you're usually paying them like 90 to 100%. Really, the affiliate should be getting the bulk of the money. That's the whole deal. One thing to keep in mind here is affiliates care about how much money your offer will make them compared to other offers they can promote. So when people hit me up to promote their stuff, I have a couple criteria. One, it has to be something that I know is good and that I know if I send it to my list is actually going to like, whether that's a lead magnet or an actual offer. If it's a piece of shit, that's just really dumb for me to promote it, no matter how much money I'll make, because it just erodes the goodwill of my list. So I'm really picky about what I actually promote to my list. Secondly, it's all about how much money is that going to make in comparison to what I could do. So like I could do a training like this to my list and make X amount of money, and I know I'm going to make that much money. Or I could promote this person's affiliate offer, which maybe I've promoted it before and I know I can make 30 grand doing that. So if somebody's coming to me and they're like, oh yeah, promote this. And like, I started looking at the numbers and I'm like, I don't think I'll even make $10,000 doing this. It's just flat out not worth it for me. So this is something to keep in mind when you want to have affiliates promote your stuff. They're always comparing what your offer could potentially make them compared to what else they could promote. And I just want to reiterate this last point down here. Your goal is to get new leads, customers from your affiliates at break even. That's really the goal. Like if they send you, I don't know, 100 new customers and all those customers, let's say on average spent $40 buying your offer and you paid back the affiliate all of that, that's a good deal because you just got 100 new customers for nothing. And now you can make all the money off the back end with those customers. That's really what you're trying to do. So your goal is to acquire the leads and customers without really spending any money. So I'm going to show a couple examples. This is an example of Ian when I paid Ian to mail for me. So he sent an email saying he got $3.7 million wired to his account. It's basically just telling the story of when I sold my supplement company and I got $3.7 million in the buyout, blah, 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 blah. And then he just pitches them on, here's the 26-page document Justin put together showing you how to become a millionaire using direct response marketing, something called the SOS method, blah, 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 blah. There you go. So it just sent them to my opt-in page, and I paid Ian per each opt-in that he sent me. Pretty simple. All right, so let's look at thank you page offers. So I said email is my favorite traffic source because I think it delivers the best buyers. Thank you page offers are really good, and I'll show you an example of a thank you page offer. So this is Mike Geary's thank you page. After they buy an offer and they go through all the upsells, this is like the final page they're on. where they're getting access to the product and stuff like that. But smart marketers will put other offers on this page. So Mike has an offer here for some VSL for, I don't know what it is, some type of paint offer. Interesting. All right. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I will not click on any links again, apparently. Probably because I got like 300 of them set up. So yeah, Mike's got this offer for on his thank you page. A couple different offers on here. So like I said, that one was for the oops. Oh, they're all going away. Well, sorry about that. All right. Well, you guys kind of got the idea when I showed the example. So it literally just putting offers on a thank you page, and you guys are gonna have access to all these links. So they'll be in the PDF I give you. But so a thank you page is the last page that you land on, and you can have your offer on someone else's thank you page. Why I like doing this is because the only people that see the thank you page are buyers. So if you want to fill your list full of people who have money and who buy, this is a great way to do it. Also, they just bought, so they're super hot. So like a buyer who buys today is a much better person to have on your list than someone who bought a year ago, because their whatever problem they have is hot and on their mind. So this is why I really love using the thank you page offers. And I would say most offer owners don't actually utilize their thank you page. So when you put your offer on their page and you're paying them as an affiliate, it's a win-win because they're getting free money that they weren't getting before, and you're getting new customers, new leads that you weren't getting before. All right, let's look at radio, and then we'll take a little break and do some questions. So radio is long forgotten. It is not sexy, but I can tell you the buyer quality is very high, and it works really well in niches like health, financial, biz op, and survival. Those are kind of the four main ones I've seen working really well. You can get remnant rates, which is basically whenever the radio stations have unused ad inventory, they will sell those off at really, really cheap rates, usually to direct response marketers. So the big kind of like brands and stuff like that pay top dollar to have ad space, and then whatever doesn't get sold to them gets sold at really cheap rates to direct response marketers. So one thing we did that was really cool, and I mentioned this in the YouTube video I did, after we started buying a bunch of remnant rates and it started doing well, we actually turned the radio station into our affiliate. So they had open ad space a lot, and we would buy that up. And we basically told them, we're like, if you have open ad space and you don't have anything to run, just run our ad and we'll pay you, I think it was like $40 for every sale that you make. So they basically got turned into our affiliate, and anytime they had open ad space, they're running our ad. So no risk for us. And they were sending us usually 100 to 120 buyers a day every time that they ran our ad. So worked really, really, really well. Actually, I'm gonna play you the ad that we ran for Patriot Power Greens as well. It's pretty cool because I actually recorded it myself, and it did really, really well. Okay. Uh, Let me know if you guys cannot hear this.
The old guys in this unit have been part of a special test group for a doctor-formulated fountain youth drink called Patriot Power Greens. Patriot Power Greens has been so effective for soldiers that it's made their achy joints, stiff muscles, and lack of energy a thing of the past. Previously, something shocking just happened in a Coast Guard unit in San Diego. The old guys in the unit have turned the tables and are now destroying the young bucks in head-to-head fitness tests. How is this even possible? Turns out the old guys in this unit have been part of a special test group for a doctor-formulated fountain of youth drink called Patriot Power Greens. Patriot Power Greens has been so effective for many of the older soldiers that it's made their achy joints, stiff muscles, and lack of energy a thing of the past. Previously, this drink was only available to elite military units. But for a limited time, you can try Patriot Power Greens absolutely free. All we ask is that you chip in a few bucks to help cover shipping. But you must act fast. Due to the high demand from members of the Coast Guard, our supply is extremely limited right now. To claim your free sample packs of Patriot Power Greens, go to greens123.com. That's greens123.com. Greens123.com. Something.
Cool. So a couple things I want to add. We actually did it with a professional voiceover artist, and his did much worse than mine. We ran it originally with my voice, and then we did a professional one thinking it was going to do a lot better, and mine actually did much, much better than his. So the kind of amateurishness of mine, I mean, mine was literally recorded on my laptop. No microphone, no soundproof room. You can hear all the popping, like you can hear different noise levels. Like it just, I mean, I put it together on GarageBand. It just not good at all. But it worked great. And so, yeah, they ran that. We actually had 2 or 3 different versions of that. And every time they ran it, we would get 100 to 120 customers. And all we were doing was sending them to our sales page that we sent everybody through when we were doing email and stuff like that. So the exact same sales page that we know worked, and that had upsells and stuff like that. And it worked, like I said, it worked really, really, really well. So yeah, like I said, health, financial, biz op, and survival tend to be the big niches that I see that work well on radio. You just got to really find the stations that your niches will listen to. I mean, the big main ones with that are conservative radio stations. That tends to attract that type of crowd that responds really well to health, financial, biz op, and survival. All right. So 3 favorite traffic sources for paid. Like I said, email affiliates, thank you page offers, radio. Let's stop for a second. We'll take some questions. Who's got questions on paid? If you posted a question earlier, feel free to repost it. Coordinator says, I don't understand how radio traffic works. How do they arrive to my buyer magnet? So you heard the URL that was given at the end of the radio ad that sent people to the sales page. So it was greens123.com. And we mentioned it like 3 times so that people could hear it. And it would send people to our sales page where they could buy our supplement. Tom says, any pros or cons to structuring an email affiliate deal per opt-in instead of just paying a flat fee? Would you say no to an affiliate asking for a flat fee? So I've actually done both. When I get affiliates to mail for me, if I know they have a good list, I will pay them per opt-in, but I'll also, so like when I did the deal with Ian, I know Ian has a really good list and that I would like, he's going to send me I knew he'd send me at least 1,000 people. So I was like, I'll guarantee you $10,000 for if you mail 3 times, and anything over I think we had the deal where I was like, anything over 1,000 opt-ins, I'll pay you like $10 per opt-in. So there was like the least he could make was 10 grand. So that type of deal, if you know, you got to know your numbers to make that kind of deal. But if you know your numbers, that type of deal works really, really well. I like, if I'm testing on someone else's list, I usually want to test first cheaply. Once I test a couple times and I know it's working, then I'd be more open to just paying a flat fee. But usually up front, I would like to just test at least a small amount and have some idea of how that list is going to do. Tom asks, how do you find email affiliates? Is it just through networking, asking people of list, or is there somewhere to go and find lists? Yeah, so it is some networking. It's also, if you get on the list of the big people in your niche, you'll see very quickly, like if you're on my list, you'll see people that I promote. If you're on Ian's list, you'll see things that he promotes. If you're on Mike Geary's health list, like Alternative Daily and stuff like that, you can see all the stuff that they promote. And then everything that they're promoting is stuff that you can either also promote or hit up those people. So a lot of it is networking too. Like if you just go to any event like Affiliate Summit or Traffic and Conversion, you're going to meet all the people there who are mailing all these offers. And you can kind of start making inroads there, or you could just simply, like I said, get on all these lists and kind of figure out what people are mailing. Robin said, what about solo ads? I've never personally done solo ads in the, I'm assuming you're talking about it in kind of like the biz ops space, like Warrior Forum kind of stuff. I've never done those. I can't imagine the quality is that great, but I'm also not going after like straight biz up people. So I tend to shy away from that. Dean said, what percentage do you give affiliates for your offer on their thank you page? You would give them the same amount that you would give affiliates any other time. So if you're paying per lead, you'd pay them whatever it is you pay per lead. If you're paying per sale, it's whatever. Like I said, you usually try to pay 90 to 100%. So if your profit's around, let's say $100 selling supplements, like you should be giving them $100. So you want to give them as much money as possible to encourage them to keep mailing for you, or to keep your offer on there and not put something else in. Ever find that other list affiliates don't want to promote you because they see you as a competitor? Any tips to deal with this, or best to just move on? I've honestly personally never had that come up. Yeah, I've never had that come up because I mean, usually those are like the best people to actually promote. Like if you got a testosterone offer and whoever your biggest competitor is, like your people will buy their offer too. So in my opinion, it's kind of a dumb way to go about it. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine promoting competitors. Jonathan, I answered yours already, kind of with Dean's question. Darren said, when you initially paid the radio, roughly what was the rate you were paying? Was it like $100 every time the ad played? And was it AM, FM, big things like Sean Hannity's radio show? Yeah, I think that was Rush Limbaugh back when he was alive. So I think this was probably 2015 or so. I want to say the normal rate for that stuff was probably 15 to 20,000 for a radio spot. And we were paying the remnant rate, which was probably like 3,000. Which might sound like a lot, but like you just, like I said, you kind of test it. And like we tested it the first time. I think we spent $3,000 and we made like $6,000. So it's like, okay, this is obviously profitable. Then we ran it again. We made like 5,000. Then we started rotating in some different ad creative so that we weren't just using the same ad creative all the time. And then eventually, like I said, we got to the point where they kind of became our affiliate. Nicholas said, do affiliate mailings only really work if you have a list audience already, or can you do that starting from scratch as well? I'm not sure if you mean getting people on your list from affiliates or you mailing affiliate offers. You can certainly mail affiliate offers once you start building up your list, definitely. And you can build your own list with having affiliates mail for you. Marcus said how to write an email to pitch putting your offer on someone's thank you page. I mean, that's not really going to be covered in this, but it's pretty simple. Just you need to see their you better have an idea of what's on their thank you page already, otherwise you're going to sound like an idiot if you're telling them to put it on there and you don't have no idea what's already on there. But yeah, I would tend to start out with people you know if you can. That's the easiest way to do it. And then look at their actual thank you page, which means buy their product, go through their funnel, see what they're doing, stuff like that. And then if you see they don't have any offers on there or they could have room for your offer, then pitch them on that. Why wouldn't I recommend Facebook, Instagram as my favorite traffic source? I mean, as I said, the buyers are, I just get the best buyers from email. So pretty cut and dry. Any tips for affiliate email promotions if you don't have an existing relationship with the other list? I mean, reach out to them on Facebook, talk to them. I mean, email marketing is all about relationships. If you're going to promote affiliate offers, you got to have relationships. You can't be trying to do everything on your own and not talk to anybody. I mean, if you want to be in the game of promoting other offers and having other people promote you, you got to be making talking to people and making friendships. Patty said, do you know if subscription radio has remnant rates or does that only apply to local broadcasting? I don't know if Sirius, I'm not sure with Sirius. We did most of ours with big like AM, FM stations. I don't think we ran anything on Sirius. I could be wrong, but that's been a while, so I'm not really sure. Nico said, how describe a personality list to subscribe for your person or your lead magnet, but you send Guru's message? I'm not really sure what you're asking, but for a guru list, like it's the same thing. You have a lead magnet, you get them on the list, and then you send kind of emails that are similar to the kind of emails that I send out. Scott said, aside from affiliate traffic, do you think starting with Facebook or YouTube traffic for a copywriting list? You could, I think organic. YouTube, I think there's just a lot more at play because like you're creating videos and that's just a lot more compared to Facebook, which I think is a lot easier because you just do text ads, at least to start. I mean, I personally, it depends. Are you talking organic or paid? We'll get into organic stuff here in a little bit, but I'm not really sure which one you're talking about. You're talking about paid? Okay. I personally would start with affiliates because I think you're just going to get the best people off affiliates emailing for you. If you're willing to spend money to get people to email, I would do that. David said, any particular tricks to getting an affiliate's attention if you're unknown to them? If you have a list, you could send them traffic and sales. That'll certainly get their attention. You can, I mean, really the big thing, like if your offer converts or your lead magnet is going to pay them what they want, most people will mail it. It really boils down to that. Like, I mean, if somebody, or I mean, if you can get an intro from someone that does know them, that always helps. Like someone who doesn't know me, but they get an intro from Scott or Ian Stanley or whoever, it's someone that I know, that's going to help a lot. But it really boils down to, is the offer going to work? Is it going to pay well? Is it a good offer? Those things all matter way more. Tom said, would you ever promote or ask an affiliate to promote your daily emails rather than a lead magnet? I have tried that. I would not recommend it. Lead magnet definitely works much, much better. Olga said, do you provide email swipes to people who will promote you? Yep, I usually provide swipes. Some people use it, some won't, but I always promote it. I mean, I always provide it just in case. Scott, what are you using to track affiliate sales? I'll get into that in a little bit, but I use iDev Direct. Other people use Tune, which used to be called Has Offers. Josh, if it's your first time paying an affiliate, say $10 per lead, how do you ballpark a budget, how much you might need to be ready to pay them? If your lead magnet conversion rate so far is based on other types of traffic and you've never done anything with the affiliate before. Yeah, so you kind of got to have an idea. Like when I did the first deal for my list with Ian, I didn't really have any idea of how many people he was going to be able to send me. But I was like, yeah, so this is, like I said, this is where you got to kind of know your numbers a little bit and what you're going to be willing to spend. So like in our niche in copywriting business stuff, I'm willing to pay $10 a lead. Like in health, I think they might pay $1 a lead, maybe $1.50. So it's a lot different in that niche. But yeah, you kind of got to know your numbers, and you could just test with a smaller affiliate at first who you know might only send you 50 opt-ins, just to kind of get an idea. Probably better off doing that, testing small and get some data with smaller affiliates, work out all the kinks, and then take it to bigger affiliates. Alma said, when working with affiliates, does that turn your offer into a high-risk offer? And if so, what do you recommend as a source for merchant accounts? It depends what you mean. You can have rules for what your affiliates can say. I mean, if you're using like networks like MaxWeb and stuff like that, you're going to have more risk. Like mine doesn't have any risk because I have to approve everyone to be an affiliate. I don't just open it wide up to whoever wants to be an affiliate. So yeah, I would recommend, if you're worried about that, start with just affiliates that you approve. Well, and so what's the difference between a solo ad and what you're doing pay-per opt-in? I've never done solo ads, but from my knowledge of them, you're basically just paying a flat fee, I believe, to advertise on somebody's email list. I believe that's what it is. So yeah, you're usually paying flat fee. That's why it's different. Tom, any thoughts on LinkedIn as a lead source? I honestly have never done anything on LinkedIn. I don't even have a LinkedIn account. So I really have no advice for you on that. If I have 0 people on my list, I want to sell a high ticket offer. Would you recommend building my list full of buyers since the beginning with low ticket offers, or build my list of leads? I'm pretty sure I've told you this like 3 times, but you should have the offer, the book, somewhere between 10 and $100, have an upsell, and then have a back end offer for high ticket. Interested in your experience with LinkedIn as a source of organic traffic? Yeah, I really don't. I don't know nothing about LinkedIn. Not the one to ask for that. Heidi, what's up, Heidi? I've built my stuff off Facebook group. I want to grow it faster now. What would you recommend? Drive opt-in traffic with a free lead magnet or a paid ad? I would drive opt-in traffic to a free lead magnet. Yeah, that's worked really well for me. Josh said, would you say it would be worth it trying to have an affiliate promote a book a call funnel for an agency? No. I would have them send to an opt-in so that you could put those people on your list. I would not have them send to a book a call funnel. That's a really hard sale for the affiliate, so they're not going to make any money. This is like when people ask me to promote their live events. I've tried that a couple times on my list. Selling live events is super freaking hard. And so I'm just like, it's a lot easier to sell a course. I make way more money selling a course than I would selling a live event. So it's just not worth it. So the same thing I would say with having someone trying to send people to book a call funnel for an agency. You'd be much better off having some type of opt-in before that, and then send it to a VSL that tries to get them on the call and just pay for the leads. Your backend offer should be, so after the, yes, your backend offer should be immediately offered after the upsell, either on a webinar or trying to get them on a phone call and selling them on the phone. You do not want to wait a while and warm up the buyer. When someone opts into your list, that's when they are the hottest. Whether they opt in or they buy something, that's when they're the hottest and they have the best chance of buying. If you wait and try to warm them up for a month, it's not as smart. YJ said, how would you determine if you're going to sell right off the bat, like right after they opted in for the lead magnet, or sell after warming up the list a bit? I personally would sell, like I said, right off the bat. Yeah, because I mean, you're going to need to liquidate your ad cost. So you want to get some money up front, unless you're okay losing money and waiting a year, but most people aren't okay with that. Yes, you guys will have access to all the recordings. So we're going to keep going. All right, we'll go to, we just did paid traffic sources. We're going to go to organic traffic sources. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about the tech, and then how to get started for really cheap. So probably another 45 minutes, I think, then we'll wrap up. Organic traffic sources. So here are some of my favorite ones. There's millions of things you can do with organic. Out of the things I've tried, here's what I like doing. So I'm going to share a bunch of these. YouTube. So just to give you a quick example of how I use YouTube to build my email list. Basically, here's like an here's a YouTube video I put up. In the little info box down here, I send them to my opt-in. Every single video of mine sends people to this opt-in. YouTube is not a huge driver for me, but I get 8 to 15 opt-ins a day, I would say, from YouTube. And for me personally, it kind of just negates the normal like churn of an email list. So it kind of keeps things at even instead of it going down. Building a YouTube channel is obviously a lot of work and that could be a whole 3-day seminar in itself. But I have found a lot of the people that have found me from YouTube, like when we used to do the Copy Accelerator events in person, I was pretty shocked how many people came up to me and said they found me on YouTube. It was a lot of people. So there's definitely a better relationship definitely forms with you through video than anything else. So that is probably the biggest, I would say, advantage of something like YouTube. Facebook. So sharing helpful posts in relevant groups for your niche. And then a lot of people will add you as a friend, and you could post a link to your own lead magnet on your profile. So I'll show you kind of how I used to do this. Back before I had my own Facebook group, I used to post in the Cult of Copy all the time. And I would just share really good insights. I wasn't promoting anything. I wasn't telling people to follow me. I wasn't doing anything like that. Just sharing good insights about copy and what business owners are looking for. And a bunch of people started following me. And then I would just post something on my own Facebook page about my email list. So I was getting people from groups like Cult of Copy onto my email list by doing that. Podcast appearances. So every podcast appearance I do, I send people to a lead magnet to help me build my list. I showed you that example with JLD earlier. He has his own podcast and just sends everybody to his free podcast course to opt in. And anytime he's on any other podcast, he sends them to this as well. So really smart. Anytime you're doing any type of appearance, drive people to that. List swaps. This has been a really good one for me. I did this with a couple different people. I'll show you a couple examples here. So the one I did with Ben Settle, we basically just promoted each other's opt-ins to our list. So I wrote this big email about how Ben is the modern day Dan Kennedy and his spouse is all these kind of just talked about some of the stuff I learned from Ben. And at the end, promoted his opt-in, boom, boom. So I sent one email for Ben, and then Ben sent one email for me. So I got I think I got 400 or 500 opt-ins off of that. I think I sent him probably 500 or 600 or 700, something like that. So super happy with that. And it was really worthwhile too, because a bunch of the people that came from Ben's list, there was like 3 or 4 that joined Copy Accelerator when I was still a part of that. I know Ben, a bunch of the people that I sent to Ben's list ended up joining his print newsletter and buying books from him. So win-win all around with the list swaps. Last one I'll cover is teaching in other people's paid groups. If you do high ticket stuff, this is really, really smart. If you're doing lower ticket stuff, it's really not worth it, not worth your time. But if you're doing high ticket stuff, like any type of coaching, consulting, service-based business, if you're in front of other people's paid groups and you're teaching to them, man, that's just a great people to be in front of. So like if I'm in front, I did one with Alex Catoni's copywriting group. I think they were all paying, I don't remember exactly what they're paying. They all spent some amount of money to learn how to be better copywriters. So that's the type of people I want to be in front of. I've done them with different ones like Brian Kurtz's Titans group. So it's like all those people in there are paying $200 a month. They're all pretty serious about marketing and direct response. And I get to be in front of all of them and talk to them. And I usually set up a thing where I push them to my lead magnet during the call or at the end of the call as well. So I used to do that with the Agora. I used to have copywriting calls and they used to let me promote my thing on there. So it was like 300 really high level Agora copywriters and a bunch of other really smart marketers on the call. And they'd let me promote my opt-in. And I built, I'm sure there's probably people on this call who found me through the Agora copywriting call. So I love doing that type of stuff. And like I said, if you're doing high ticket stuff, that's a really, really good place to be. Not so much if you're doing low ticket stuff, but if you're doing anything high ticket, teaching in other paid groups is one of the best places to get in front of the people that you really want to be in front of. So kind of the big thing with organic, like I said, you want to be funneling everyone to your lead magnet or your low ticket offer to get them on your list. My personal take on organic is it works, but just be aware that it does take longer to get results. But if you have no money, it's a good place for most people to start. I mean, that's when no one really knew me in the copywriting niche. I started from, like I said, posting in the Cult of Copy and places like that and built up my name that way. So my personal preference, like I said, though, is paid traffic, preferably paid traffic that's breaking even on day 0. So I'm not actually paying for it. All right, we're going to cover building lists for cheap here in a minute. I know a lot of you guys really want to hear that. But let's go over questions on traffic sources now. If you posted a question that I have not answered, feel free to just post it again. Angela said, how do you balance long-term thinking and profiting on day 0 or breaking even? Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of it comes down to what kind of business you're running. Like in the health niche, it's more about just putting tons and tons of people on the list and selling them more supplements and more ebooks or whatever you're doing. In my stuff, it's more, I'm looking at that. That's a very short-term thinking business because they know those people on their list are going to be off the list in 2 months or 3 months. So they just sell as much stuff to them as they can and just keep doing it. My business is very different. I've had people on my list since 2018 who still read my emails every day. So it really kind of depends on what kind of business you're running. Richard said, are you paid by Brian Kurtz or Alex Catoni or others when you speak before their audiences? No, I'm not. That's why most of them will let you usually promote something because they know my time is valuable and I'm not just going to show up and talk for an hour and a half on their call without getting something out of it. So yeah. Mario said, do you recommend people confirming their email address to be added onto the list? Does it drop conversion onto your list? This is another one of those where it depends. I wish I had a more clear-cut answer. If you're doing big lead gen stuff from like Facebook, YouTube, and all that, you probably might want to do it. Like I personally don't do it for my email list. Mostly because the people I'm putting on it's a little more targeted. But if you're in like some big broad niche like weight loss or something, you're probably going to need to do that. Bo said, what do you think of Instagram and Twitter as traffic sources? I personally don't use either. I have at some point posted some stuff on Instagram and funneled people to my lead magnet through Instagram stories. If you got a big following, I think it's worth it. Yeah, I mean, I think Twitter probably honestly would be better because you're gonna get more. You get more like engaged people who I think are probably smarter and better kind of customers long term from Twitter. Patrick said, would you quickly repeat where you place your opt-in link on your Facebook business page or personal page? So I'm not putting it either of those. I'm putting it on my personal page, just literally like a random post where I'm like, hey, I just put up this new lead magnet, blah, blah, blah. It teaches you blah, blah, blah. And then put it here then I'll put it in the link like for them to go to. So the goal of that, like I said, is you build up people following you from other groups that you're posting in. And then because obviously you can't post your opt-in link in other groups, but people can follow you who are following you in other groups. Then you could post it on your own Facebook page. Tim said he's been on my list since 2018. Awesome, man. Love it. Matt said, how would you grow a supplement list without your own product? And then would you promote affiliate supplements or white label dropship supplements on the back end? The long-term goal would be to have my own supplements. So I personally, if I'm going to do a supplement list, I would not start a supplement list without having my own supplement. So because I would just go after buyers because the supplement buyers are just so much better than leads in that niche. So I would go after buyers. If you want to do white label, you can do white label supplements where you don't have to pay for anything up front. So you can get that kind of started pretty cheaply. But yeah, I would have an offer, whether it's anti-aging or pick some niche that you want to be in. And I would just focus on getting buyers if I was going to do supplement stuff. This is my first time buying traffic. What would you recommend for me? Buying email traffic or starting with Facebook, Instagram, which are platforms I know better? Also, how much spend on paid ads would bring me around 1,000 buyers? I would recommend you do something where you can start small and test. So if you understand Facebook ads, feel free to start there. How much spend on paid ads would bring me 1,000? But that's kind of impossible to know because I don't know how much the product costs. I don't know how much you're spending on ads. And That's really hard to say. But the reality is, like we said, we want to get, you're going to lose money at first running paid ads because you got to dial in your offer and dial in the upsells and dial in the back end, whatever you're selling on the back end. So you're going to lose money at first most times. So, yeah, if you understand Facebook well, I would start there. Like I said, I don't think the buyers are as great as other places, but if you understand that, I think it's a good place to kind of start testing. Olga said, for someone like Mike Geary, would you say his health list is make money quick or more of a long-term game? His is definitely a make money quick. Most of the people that are on health lists tend to be, like I said, churn and burn kind of things, where they send them a lot of offers. And they know they're probably not going to be on the list 3 months, 6 months from now. So very different than a lot of other lists. Mohammed said, on a personality email list like yours, what should be the percentage of subscribers that actually bought something from you within a year? I have no idea. I don't look at that. The large majority of people that buy stuff tend to just buy stuff over and over again. Richard said, I presume you'd be paid if speaking at a live event promoted by someone else rather than merely being on a Zoom call for someone else's audience. It depends. If I'm honestly probably not a big enough name or a big enough draw to get paid. And most of the people that, like someone like Alex Hormozy probably gets paid. Grant Cardone, people like that, they get paid. Most of the people that ask me to pay or ask me to speak are friends of mine. So I'll just kind of do it because they'll usually come speak at something I'm doing. So it's usually a tip for tat thing. Marco, with your supplement business, when you were breaking even on paid traffic, how much percentage of those customers would buy again to get you into profit? I couldn't tell you a percentage off the top of my head, but we would run sales every month for the initial green supplement that they bought. We would run a sale like every month where they could buy it again, and people just bought it again like crazy. YJ said, this might be a little irrelevant, but what are your thoughts on personal branding? Do you recommend people to grow their email list and their brand at the same time, like YouTube channel, IG account? I mean, your email list is your brand as well. I personally, like, if you compare 10,000 people on an email list to 10,000 people on Instagram or 10,000 people on YouTube, there's no comparison at all. The email list is just worth way more. Ethan said, if you only have $500 to throw at paid traffic, what is the best platform to run ads through? The niche is health and fitness. Personally, I probably would not even, if you only have $500 to spend on traffic, I probably would not even put it into paid ads. I would just focus more on organic. Cynthia said, I have a client who wants to promote their book on their website, but since it's print on demand with Amazon, the prospect is taken off the site onto Amazon. Any suggestions on how to turn it into a lead gen? I mean, if you can, that's a little confusing. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but I mean, a lot of people do free plus shipping offers with books. And you just get a fulfillment house to print them and send them out. So you kind of got to get away from Amazon. But that gives you more control over it. That's like what Mike Geary and a bunch of them do with their cookbooks. They print them all themselves and their fulfillment house takes care of it. Chris said, I'm experienced in Facebook ad. Justin, what's your opinion on how many products are needed for a break-even funnel these days? Front end, order, bump, upsell. You can usually get by with front end offer, upsell, downsell. You should be able to get that close to break even if your copy's good and your upsell's good and your pricing's on point. I've never messed around. I don't tend to use bump sells because sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, and sometimes they affect what people will take as upsells. So I would not just automatically put a bump sell in there. Tim said, Justin, I started a $0 challenge where I'm starting from scratch and launching 12 offers in 2023, starting with $0. January, I did an organic launch for 21K for a freelancing course. February, I'm planning a GPT course. So definitely in the make a business niche. Do you think the $0 challenge could be interesting for a lead magnet? Just spilling the beans and how I plan to do the launches. Maybe something step by step. I don't need to profit on day zero. I mean, starting a business with $0 kind of as a hook is a sexy hook. The only problem is you're going to attract people who have no money. If you're okay with that, then it will work, but I would be a little skeptical of that because that's literally who that's going to attract. All right, I'm gonna answer a couple more and then we'll keep rolling. What do you think about a classified ad for leads run in the industry magazines? I've never personally done that, but if you can test cheaply, I think it's a good idea. Oh, Ethan, you said if you could, let's see, you could spend $500 a month. I mean, really the how much money you can spend shouldn't be a big thing because the goal is really to get it to be break even. And once it's break even, it doesn't matter if you're spending $500 a month or 100,000 a month because you're getting the money back. So I personally, if you could do, I mean, if you got 500 a month to spend, I think I would probably spend it on having affiliates email for my stuff. Almost said I got 15K per month for advertising. I would focus as much as I could on email. Depends what niche you're in, but if you tell me what niche you're in, I might be able to give you a little more, but I would probably focus it on email. Justin, what are your thoughts on monthly payment subscriptions? They're great, man, if you can get them to work. Thoughts on viral giveaways, sweepstakes? I honestly don't know anything about it. That to me, I think you'd probably bring a lot of freebie seekers, so not really. I would not personally be interested in it. For list swaps, how can you tell if the partner list is legit and filled with people with money? You're gonna have to do your research. You're probably only gonna want to do list swaps to people that you actually know. So not just cold emailing people and trying to do list swaps. It tends to be more of a relationship thing. Glenn said we got killer offers and convert over email great, but want to start scaling our offers through paid ads, but we're new to it. How much is a decent amount to start with advertising? Just start small until you get something working. So keep testing stuff and so at first test the ads and see if you can get the ads to work better. Then you might need to test like the lead on your sales page. Then you might need to play around with the upside. I mean, if your stuff's already converting on email, just start small with paid ads and keep tweaking as it goes. What is the difference as a low ticket offer of an ebook and a mini course of the back end high ticket program I have? If the mini course is very good and delivers great value, wouldn't it be better than an ebook, or ebooks just work better in general? They'll both work. A course versus an ebook, I don't think it really matters which one you do. But yeah, as the front end, I think you could do a course or you could do an ebook, either one. Rami said, what would be a good lead magnet for BizOp? That's way too general for me to like which niche in BizOp. Copywriting, affiliate marketing, make money, with Uber. I mean, there's 9 million things you could do. Chris said, I write for a client in the supplement weight loss space. Daily emails. Problem is majority are buying from a sale. Only Christmas, Valentine's. Is there a way to increase sales when there's a sale, or is this typical in the weight loss supplement space? It depends on how you brought them in. So, I mean, if they were brought in on a sale, then they tend to be sale seekers. So that could affect it. I don't know. What did they buy on the front end to get on the list? That would help determine it. So Rami said, what would be a good lead magnet for BizOp? And then he said, starting an email list. I'm really not sure what you're asking, man. You gotta be more clear with what you're asking if you want me to answer it. Brian said, any ideas for lead magnet offer to build a list of online business owners to market and sell legal services? Yeah, I think some type of fear kind of some type of fear thing of like areas where you could be exposed as a business owner. That's probably what I would. So it'd be like 7 whatever that you could get sued or lose money or lose your business or whatever it is. I would probably start with that and kind of test from there. Chris said they're coming in on a coupon or a discount. So that makes sense. Yep. So people that come in on sale offers, discount, coupons, buy 1 bottle, get 3 free, tend to be sales seekers. So they're going to continue to buy on sales. So a good way to revive an old email list. I have one from 2017 that I built through trade shows with 18,000. I haven't emailed them since early 2017. Is that something you would just leave alone? Or would you email to it? I have all opt-in dates, IP addresses. Yeah, you could start warming it up like 500 emails at a time and just kind of see what the open rates are. And then make sure the open rates are like above 20%. And if they are, then just keep adding like 500 emails a day to it. And just be really strict with your segmenting. So if they're not opening within like 2 weeks, start removing them. Or if they don't open one of the first like couple emails, just remove them. But yeah, you could definitely revive it. All right, we're gonna keep moving on. Whew, this has been a long call. All right, we're coming to the home stretch though. So we got the tech, and then we got the last part is how to get started for cheap. So what tech you need to get started. Opt-in offer pages. So cheap and easy ways to do this would be ClickFunnels or lead pages. Or you can also get it built by someone. So a lot of the ones I do, I just get hard coded by a programmer. Usually this loads quicker, converts better. I have no technical knowledge myself. I don't know how to use ClickFunnels, so I just pay someone to do it. So either way works though. If you're just getting started, ClickFunnels is probably the easiest, or lead pages, one of those. Opt-in offer pages. I'm not sure why it says that. So for actual email service providers, on the more affordable end, Blastable and Ontraport are 2 that I recommend. The guys from Blastable are actually on my email list and saw I'm doing this and reached out and said they wanted to give everybody who's on this training a free 2 months with Blastable. So if you want to use their email list, I'll give you the link. If you just use Goff at checkout, no matter which plan you pick, you'll get 2 months for free. So that's pretty cool. More expensive, I personally use Maropost. I think I pay $13,000 a year for Maropost. Maropost depends on the size of your list, but I have really good deliverability. I may move to Blastable at some point, but I got, like I said, I got really good deliverability with Maropost. But if you're new, I would try Blastable or Entreport. They're both super solid. Other tech you can use. So if you're doing opt-ins at a high volume, there's a thing called X-Verify that you put on your website that verifies the email addresses. So a lot of people try to put fake email addresses in, and this just makes sure they're real email addresses. That really helps for your email delivery and all of that. So you don't need that if you're just starting out, but if you are doing decent volume, I would recommend using that. Affiliate tracking, I use iDev Direct. I think it's $60 a month. You could also use Tune, which is what I used to use, which used to be called Has Offers. More expensive, but that works really well for affiliates. So questions on any tech before we get into the last part here? Cynthia said, can you expound a little more on the break even with affiliate marketing from day one? For example, if someone promotes my offer, I give them 90 to 100% profit for each lead, correct? That helps with list building. What if I want to get more buyers? Are you saying that if they bought once, they'll buy more? And that's where the people with money comes into play, correct? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking here, Cynthia, but really, like if someone sends you 100 buyers, let's say those 100 buyers spent $50 each with you, you want to give as much of that money to the affiliate as possible so that it makes it worth it for them to mail. Because if they're not going to make good money, they're not going to mail for you. So with affiliate stuff, it's getting them to mail is hard in the sense that you have to have something that's going to make them good money. So if you can make them good money, you got to pay them well. So like there's affiliates out there who are like, I'll give you 90 to 100% of what I make. And there's other affiliates who are like, I'll give you 50% of what I make. Well, which one are you going to promote? You're going to promote the one that's 90 to 100%. So the goal, like I said, the goal when affiliates promote your stuff is to make them happy and give them as much money as you possibly can that fit in your numbers so that they will keep mailing for you. Otherwise, they'll just find someone else that will pay them more and they'll just promote their stuff. Nicholas said, why avoid MailChimp? MailChimp is just really bad. Yeah, it's just not good. The deliverability is terrible. I would not recommend it. Almost said, would you use the iDev Direct self-hosted or the subscription? We're very tech savvy here. I don't think mine is self-hosted. I don't believe. I think I pay whatever it is, $60 a month. And yeah, I don't believe it's self-hosted. It depends how big you're, like if you're crushing and doing tons of affiliate stuff, you probably need higher level stuff. I probably at that point would be on Tune, which used to be Has Offers, because they're a little more set up for heavier volume. Does the offer lead magnet change the psychology behavior of the buyer on the list, or just the who type of person who comes on the list? Yes, it absolutely changes the psychology. Certain people will be attracted to certain lead magnets and offers. Like I kind of said with Paleo Hacks one with the cooking stuff is a good example. Somebody who buys cooking stuff is not necessarily a supplement buyer. They are a cooking kind of kitchen buyer. The example that the other guy in here had with all the people coming in under a sale. Well, sales tend to attract people who seek out sales. So when they buy stuff on the back end, it's going to be sale related. So Patrick said, your thought on using ActiveCampaign. Yeah, I personally have never used ActiveCampaign, but I know a bunch of marketers use it. I think they don't allow affiliate marketing though. So if you plan on doing any affiliate marketing, I would check that before you sign up with them. Alma said, would you use the AWS simple email service? That's what I use to build my 18K list selling tents and geodomes. I know nothing about the AWS simple email service, so I cannot comment on that. Jonathan said, my emails from a certain URL are going to spam and Gmail and Yahoo, whereas the same emails from a different URL are getting delivered fine. Am I blacklisted somewhere? My domain is only a few months old. I personally am not an expert on email deliverability. I don't know if Ian Stanley still has his course on it, but he had a course, which was great. It was like $100 on email deliverability. Really damn good. If that's not available, depending on how much money you have available, you could hire someone like Troy Erickson and his team. He's got people that have helped me when my email deliverability got messed up. So if you're making really good money from email, that's really worth it. Those are a couple of suggestions I have. Do you have a thumbs down to ActiveCampaign and Klaviyo? I've never used ActiveCampaign or Klaviyo, but I know a lot of people that do, so they seem to be doing well. Aweber, I haven't used Aweber for many, many years. I think you'd probably be better nowadays on something like Blastable or Entreport. Most affiliates care about what they don't care about how much they're going to make per click or the percentage. They care much more about, if I mail this offer to my list, how much am I going to make from it? So if I mail it this offer for the next 7 days, am I going to make more than I'd make promoting something else, or am I going to make less than I'd make promoting something else? That's really how affiliates tend to think. Christopher said, I want to help people aged 20 to 30 to quit their job, college, and travel almost free on the front end and make money on the back end to fund their travels. I understand saying almost free can attract people without money, but couldn't I use my sales page to better qualify buyers so I capture more people with the appeal and then flush out people without money before they buy? I mean, if you're targeting people who are 20 to 30 already, you're kind of hamstringing yourself because most people in that age range don't have a lot of money. Like the main people who buy all these products that we've talked about tend to be mid 30s to like 70s. That tends to be who's the buyers for everything. So I personally, I mean, you probably find a lot of people who want to quit their job and travel that are older and they have more money to make it happen. So I would tend to lean that way if I were you. Would you test your email swipes first before providing them to your affiliate partners? Definitely. If you can do that, I would 100% recommend doing it. Cool. All right. Last thing. I know a lot of you guys wanted this one. So let's get into it. Cheapest ways to get started if you don't have a lot of money to spend and you want results right away. So I'm going to share some incredibly simple ways to get a big list for very little money. These are simple, but they do take work. So everything that is worthwhile does take work. And this is not a push button solution to have a 100,000 person list tomorrow. That's not the way the real world works, but you can acquire a big list pretty quickly with a little effort on your part. And it mostly involves networking and talking to people. So I'll give you a couple different examples here. This one, acquire a list from someone that they are either barely mailing or they let it die. So I'll give you a good example of this. My buddy Joe, I have two buddies who are in the men's dating niche, Joe and Andrew. Andrew has had a list for, I don't know, a couple of years now. I would say probably like 5 years now. He makes good money with that list, runs like dating boot camps, runs 8-week courses that are online. Was doing really well with it, probably making a couple $100,000 a year. He started another business in the crypto space and is really focused on that now. And he is just simply not mailing his list. So one of the things I suggested to my buddy Joe was, who's also in the men's dating niche, I was like, hey, you should hit up Andrew and be like, I'll take over your list, and I'll give you 30% of everything I make. Something super simple like that. So Andrew's not using the list anyways. It's just sitting there rotting. So I'm sure he'd be happy with Joe sending him checks every month for a couple $1,000 if Joe took the list over. So acquiring a list from someone, and there's a lot of people like this where they have a list and then they either they're on to some other business, so they stop mailing it. Connor Boylan mentioned this. He's also in the men's dating niche. He basically was like hammering his list with offers twice a day, and then it just kind of burned out, so he stopped mailing it. But someone else could probably take that list and send it really good content with men's dating stuff, because those buyers are still probably struggling with dating and talking to women and stuff like that. Someone could easily revive that under a different name with better emails and turn it into a business. So like I said, this does take networking, but other than that, the execution is really simple. And I would say one thing I would recommend if you do this, with the first couple of emails you send out, give them ample opportunities to opt out. So have an opt out link kind of prominently at the top. But if you give them really great, entertaining and informational emails, kind of like what I send to my list, you can revive a lot of these dead lists that are just sitting around. And like I said, it does take work. You're not just going to find these, but if you talk to enough people, you'll find people that have a list that they're not using. So that's one option. List splintering. This is a really cool concept where you create a second list for a list owner and then you give them a 50-50 split. So most of the big players in direct response have a second list. So basically the way this happens is, let's say a company like VShred, they have their main list, they promote internal offers, they promote their own supplements, whatever to it. They also sometimes will have a second list where they'll promote affiliate offers to it. It could be a branded list. It could not even be a brand. So you might look at it and have no idea that it's even associated with VShred. So it might be something like daily fit tips for busy moms. This gives them, they're making now basically twice the amount of money from the same lead or the same buyer by having two lists. So I'll give you a couple of examples of how you can do this. So like in golf, everybody who's in the golf niche like is freaking obsessed with golf and always wants more golf info and videos and everything. So if you're on, let's say I just made up these names, Joe Penn, the golfer, if you're on his list, Joe could easily add you to another golf list for Chris Ricks, and now you're on two golf lists. And people who are in the golf niche would be super happy to be on some other list as long as it's good stuff that's getting sent out. If you took a conservative political list, you could easily create a second list that's a survival prepper gun kind of list and start sending them information on that type of stuff, and they would probably be all for it. You see this with branded fitness list and then like a second list that just sends affiliate offers. So they're not sending any of their own offers. They're just sending affiliate offers on the second list. I've seen a guy in the fitness niche do this where he took his fitness list and then he made a second list, which turned into a men's dating advice list. The reason he did this was because he sent a lot of men's dating offers to his fitness list and it converted like crazy. So he knew firsthand that, okay, these guys are also looking for dating information. Now let's just duplicate the list and we'll put these guys on a dating list. Couple notes on list splintering. You need to have good terms and conditions in place to do this. I highly recommend you talk to a knowledgeable lawyer to get specifics on this. If you screw it up, you are going to be in a lot of trouble. So talk to a lawyer who knows what they're doing. it is free money for the list owner. So like if you create this second list and you are making them, I don't know, 30, 40, 50% of what their normal list makes, and you're just sending them a check every month, pretty cool for them. They don't have to do anything. I will say you need to be aggressive about cleaning the list of unopens. So like if they're not opening an email within 14 days, you just kick them off the list, get rid of them, and don't have anything. Don't mail them again. Always have an opt-out link at the top of these for the first 2 months to cut down on spam complaints. You definitely want to set up, by the way, I'll answer questions at the end of this. You definitely want to set up a list on a different email service provider from the main one. So it'll be on a different domain name, different IP address, all of that. You don't want to have it all on the same thing as the main one. Slowly add names to the new list. So like 500 a day max. Don't just import a huge list of 300,000 people and just start mailing them. That'll probably get you kicked off your email service provider. The best way to start this is with a 3-message autoresponder on the new list. So send 3 really good emails with really good subject lines. If they don't open any of those first 3 messages, I would just remove them from the list. You're shooting for open rates somewhere around 20%. That should be kind of like your minimum. And then if they open at least one of those 3 autoresponder messages, then you can just add them to the normal broadcast list that gets emails sent out each day. So couple of things I would recommend here. Watch your open rates delivery super, super closely. If they dip below 20%, you need to really tighten up your segments and remove people who haven't opened recently. I'll reiterate this. Do not attempt this without talking to a lawyer who knows what he's talking about. If you do all this correctly, you can make 20 to 80% of the revenue that the main list makes, and you're basically getting 50% of that. So pretty sweet way to, like I said, acquire a pretty large list. I mean, you could acquire a 10,000 person list. You could acquire a 100,000 person list. Really kind of up to you and your networking skills to do that. So that's list splintering. Any questions do you have on list splintering? Yeah, George, your question with the Andrew and Joe example, it's really just a trust thing. I mean, they could put an agreement together, but yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be entering in a deal like that with someone you don't trust in the first place. So I think that's a big part of it. Coordinator, I don't know who. I'm not going to answer this one because we're on list splintering right now, and you're on a totally different topic right now. So Matt said, how do you track sales from the list you splinter if you're also adding other list front end traffic? You would not add other list front end traffic to that list. I would make sure it's just the yeah, it would just be the ones that you got from that list that you splintered from. Do you typically have lifetime agreements, 30% sales for life, or do you do it to a certain money amount, 30% of sales until they hit 1 million in commission? I would probably have lifetime. Yeah, I would probably have lifetime. That's going to make it more appealing to most people. Do you think list splintering would work for menopause, weight loss, to also send them other anti-aging, other beauty? I'm asking if the menopause aspect would change the behavior versus regular weight loss, who said, yeah, it would certainly work in that niche. I mean, a lot of the people that are doing it already are in that niche. How much a lawyer will charge me for this, I do not know. It all depends on the quality of lawyer you get. Glenn said, what are the typical reasons people don't want to do list splintering when you propose it to them? I would say mostly they're probably worried about reputation, stuff like that. like I'll give you kind of an example how we did this with my supplement company. So there was a supplement company, and then there was a survival company, and anybody that opted in or bought on one of those went on the other list as well. So survival buyers went on the supplement list, supplement buyers went on the survival list. We did this because we knew there was just a boatload of crossover between the two, because whenever we promoted each other's products, it just crushed. So yeah, anytime we typically put someone on, it would do really, really well. So people, yeah, are kind of, I would say, would be worried about it, mostly because of like their reputation, or they think you're going to somehow screw up their deliverability and stuff like that. So like I said, you can do it. You can do it totally separate, to the point where the people would have no idea that this is even associated with the previous list. So if you want to do it like that. Tim said, is list splintering a good way to increase the frequency of emails you send out to a normal list? Say you're selling supplements for all kinds of health problems. You sell diet stuff on one list, but add people to another one that's all about digestion. Yeah. Honestly, what I see a lot of people do is, like, if they're those buy more stuff if they're on this other list. So like maybe you're promoting supplements on one, and then the other one's promoting supplements that are just affiliate offers as supplements, and they're buying on there and they're buying yours. So it's really, you kind of got to feel out the list and see what works. But once you see what's working, just keep hammering on that. Ron said, so list splintering, you don't make them opt in, just add to the new list and start sending. Yes, but as I said, slowly add like 500 people a day max. Don't just import a 100,000 person list over there. Can you give more details of what I would need to talk to a lawyer about in this case? I would suggest asking in, I would give you a recommendation, but the guy I used to use just retired and doesn't do any stuff anymore. He was the only one I used for like a number of years. I would post in a Facebook group like Nothing Held Back, Alan's group, and just ask, hey, I'm looking for a lawyer who understands email list, opt-in, and privacy stuff. Do you have any recommendations? I think you'll, out of that group, you'll probably get some good answers. Glenn said, do you just add them to the list and start emailing, and it's like they're none the wiser? Do you tell people you're being added to the new list, also like you're introducing them to a new partner? So you can do either. We did the second one where we kind of told them that they were being added and like, hey, you're on this list now. And we made it very obvious. Like, if you want it, here's what we're going to send you and what we're going to talk about. If you want to opt out, you can do it at this link. So made that very obvious. And there's a good amount of people that opt out right away and just like not interested in it, but it is really up to you. Whether you want to let them know where they came from. Like, a lot of the people that are just promoting like affiliate offers don't even mention the brand that it came from. So the person really has kind of no idea where it came from. Can't you put a link in your emails and say, hey, we also have an email newsletter on dating as well. If you want to join, click here. Yeah, you can definitely do that, but you're not going to get anywhere near as many people over there as you would just importing the whole list over. Luis said, I wrote some survival emails for a guy with a list of 15K people. His domain was blacklisted and he never sent the emails. I'm thinking of partnering with him. What would be better? Create a new domain, warm it up, and send emails from his active campaign account, or migrate that list to my own email software? Probably, if it's blacklisted, you probably need a new domain. Warm it up. Yeah, take it slow, like a couple hundred people a day at the most. Make sure you're getting good open rates. Yeah, and be really aggressive about filtering out the people that are not opening. Yeah, like I said, it just depends what you want. Glenn, some people are fine doing the list splintering without the person kind of knowing what's going on. Other people are I think when it's like really, really a good fit, like I said, golf, I think is such a good fit where it's like they would love being on another golf list. I would 100% not try to hide that. If you're using like I said, like a conservative list to like a gun list or a survival prepper thing, like those people love that stuff anyways. So I think they'd be 100% okay with it and you could just be upfront with them. But like I said, it's easier if you just start small and just kind of do it and see how it goes. Ollie said, could I take over a self-help guy's email list and promote other self-help products? He sells supplements and a few eBooks. Yep, you definitely could do that. All right, couple more examples for you, and then we're going to wrap up. So we did list splintering. Another example of how you can acquire a list without kind of building it yourself is create an email list for someone who already has a following on YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that. So the big kind of play here is a lot of the big influencers do not utilize email. It's pretty shocking how many of them are reliant totally on YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that, and they do not have an email list. And most of them have a big worry because they understand they could be deplatformed, demonetized, lose everything. So the idea of having an email list will really appeal to them. And if you can kind of show them the potential and the amount of money that they can make, I think they'll be pretty interested. So one of the ways you do this would just push people from their social media, whether that's YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, to the opt-in. I would offer someone like this, I would split it 50-50 as you run it, and you could sell whatever you want on there, products, webinars, courses. Obviously, you would work with the influencer to figure out what you guys want to sell. There are YouTubers in pretty much every freaking niche out there that do not have email lists. So investing, dating, fishing, fitness, survival, baseball cards, astrology, poker, everything we kind of talked about, they're out there. So you could easily build an email list for someone like this. And they already have the audience. So it'd just be getting the audience, mentioning it in the videos, put it in the links, and getting people over to the email list. So this will take networking. So it's not a thing that you could just do tomorrow. And if you happen to know someone already, even better. But like going to places like Vid Summit, which is a big like YouTube conference, or other places where there's influencer type people that hang out. That's how you kind of meet these people, and you could kind of pitch this idea to them. All right, I got one more here for you, and then we will wrap up for the day. So you could also create a second list of inactive subscribers from another list. So I've seen a couple of people doing this. So if you are inactive on a list, like if you're on my list and you do not open an email for like 30 or 45 days, you get removed from my list because you're dragging down my deliverability. And if you're not opening, then I don't want you on the list anyways. So most people who are inactive just get removed. You can actually, but they're usually still interested in whatever it is they bought, survival, weight loss, whatever it is. And if you have enough of them, you could build up a pretty good email list, selling them other offers. So you could take these from the list owner. You could create a list. You could either promote your own offers. You could promote affiliate offers. You could split the money with them 50-50. One thing I really want you to note down here, this is for inactives. This is not for unsubscribes. If you do this with unsubscribes, that is 100% illegal. Inactives is a different story. So they're not opting out of your list. You're kicking them off your list. But you do the same thing kind of as I talked about the list splintering thing. You would get them into a 3 email sequence, see if you get them to open, import only a couple hundred people a day. And yeah, there's a lot of people with major, huge lists that have tons of inactives that they're just getting rid of off of their list. And you could be turning them into money. So any questions on some of the stuff here I talked about with acquiring email list, partnering with people? There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, but I wanted to make sure I gave you guys really a whole just kind of masterclass on building an email list and hitting on kind of everything that we could. Sweet. Anybody have final Q&A before we wrap up? By the way, I will be sending out the recording tomorrow for this. So you'll get that, you get the PDF, you'll get the slides, you get all that type of stuff. I'll do some Q&A here for like 15 minutes. Anybody wants to hang around. Tim said, can you talk a bit about how you prepare to launch $197 calls like this? Seems like a cool way to monetize the list as well. Yeah, honestly, I may do another kind of call like this on it some point, because it's worked really well for me, and honestly shockingly well. I'm actually really pissed I'm pissed that I haven't done it before. But I mean, if you have a list that you have a good relationship with and you're picking topics that you know they're really interested in, it's not that hard, man. You just mail for a week and really kind of pitch it like the way I do. Like, I'll give you an example of this one. I think there was over 400 buyers, and I think I made close to $89,000, which blows my mind. No sales page, nothing, just a checkout page. So, and like I said, my list is not that big. It's 9,200 people. So to get 400 people to buy out of that many is pretty damn cool. But yeah, you can, I mean, honestly, you can just reverse engineer everything I'm kind of doing. But I said, I may do a training on it coming up, because it's pretty cool. I've gotten the process down pretty good. Matt said, to quickly acquire a bunch of buyers for supplement niche, would you offer something cheaper on the front end, like free plus shipping, tripwire, free weight loss report, upsell? I mean, you can quickly acquire buyers at full price. Personally, I would prefer to do that. Like, that's what we did with Patriot Power Greens. We had two versions of that. We had a full price one, and then we had a free plus shipping kind of like trial packet one, where they could get these little like packets of the greens powder. Then we upsold them to the bigger bottles. But the free plus shipping kind of trial ones were not anywhere near as good of buyers as the people who just bought the full bottles up front. I mean, you can do, we were at our peak, we were doing 1,000 buyers a day on that supplement. So you can acquire a lot of buyers in the supplement niche quickly, just selling at the normal price. Cynthia said, are the inactive subscribers from your email list or someone you're looking to partner with? So what I was saying is, you can do it with, you find people who have email lists and you take their inactives from them. So they're not doing anything with the inactives. They're just kicking them off the list, and you can take them and build your own kind of list off the, off that. Romy said, can I just hit them on YouTube, the influencers, without the list? I mean, you could try. I can't imagine anybody with a decent following is going to respond if you're trying to hit them up on YouTube. I think that's the type of thing you really need to form a relationship first, and then turn it into a business deal second. Like I said, it's simple, but it is going to take some work. Awesome. Looks like everybody liked the training. Would the influencer create the account with DSP and you manage it from a sub account, or would you email from your account? I would just manage it all myself. I would not, they're not going to want anything to do with it, and they're not going to have any interest in knowing how to do email. So I would just run it all for them and just send them checks every month. How many lists do you run? I run one list. I just have mine. What kind of lead magnet can I use to attract entrepreneurs who can pay $2,000 a month for a press office service? I don't know what a press office service is. But I would make sure my lead magnet really filters out. So kind of like that example I showed with like how to double your tax write-offs if you donate $10,000 to $100,000 a year. Well, that's gonna filter out a lot of the people who don't donate a lot of money, and people who donate a lot of money obviously have a lot of money. So I would come up with some type of lead magnet like that taps into a pain point and shows some type of benefit for whatever it is you're offering. What's the best traffic source to grow an email list in the BizOp niche if I only have $1,000 a month to invest? I think if I was going to be doing true BizOp, I would focus on buyers. I would not do lead gen. I would want people with money. So I would be doing some type of pay to offer that they have to, whether it's $20, $50, $100, and I would do it through email affiliates to start. After my upsell, when I present my high ticket offer, should I have a landing page with a sales letter or VSL presenting the offer and then directing them to a phone call, or should I only put a CTA that directs them to a phone call? You want to have, yes, you would have a landing page with some type of either a VSL or a webinar. And that is going to, at some point, pitch them on getting on a call with you. So yes, that's what you'd want. You would mention the price in the video or on the sales page. Yes, you want to mention it beforehand. Ron said, when you acquire a list, you don't really own the list. You're just running offers. It depends how you work out the deal with that person. They're most likely going to want to retain like control over it in some sense. Like if you guys end up having a falling out, you're not just going to be able to keep the list, but you need to hash that out in your kind of agreement with them. Eric said, can you tell us some of your preferred resources to use ClickFunnels? What about for memberships? Any sites or tools you use now that have been a game changer for you that could help us speed up results? I mean, most of that type of stuff is not going to speed up results. That's just like the nuts and bolts of putting stuff together. So yeah, I do use ClickFunnels. I mean, I use Maropost for my email. I use iDev Direct for my affiliate stuff. I use SurveyMonkey for doing surveys to my list. That's really about all I use. I don't use a whole lot. Mario said, how can we test offers for our list so we can see which ones to build out and launch by seeing how many replies we get back as, yes, I want this, or by seeing how many people pre-buy? I mean, I would highly recommend using the SurveyMonkey thing that I talked about earlier, where you showcase them like 8 different offers and they click, yes, I would want this. No, I would not want this. So yeah, just seeing, put that together and send it out to them. Olga said, it seems like for health, most of it are supplements now. Does it make sense to create info products as front end anymore? I personally wouldn't, because it's just really hard to compete in that niche, because if you're selling supplements, you can get like a $200, $300 average order value. It's pretty impossible to get an average order value that high with info products. And so if you want to sell supplements on the back end too, it's better to just get someone to buy supplements up front. Matt said, what info would you want to put in the first 3 emails of a newly splintered list? For example, if the list is generally about make money online, what would you include? It depends how you want to do your list. If you're going to do kind of a personality driven list like mine, I would do a lot of storytelling of really empathizing with the pain points of where they're at. What are they really feeling in this moment? Are they feeling frustration about their boss? Are they feeling like a loser because they don't make enough money? And I would tell a whole bunch of stories about that, either personal stories from your life or from people you know, or from the stories you've read, and really just try to bond with them over that, and then show them that there is a better way. That could be with the product you're linking to. It could be just simply paying attention to your next couple of emails. Could be having them respond to the email, and that's going to help like deliverability stuff. So that's a couple good ideas. Lewis said, what would be the ideal lead magnet to attract business owners to my email list if I wanted to sell my email copy services? I think I would create an ebook on how to use Chat GPT to create copy from scratch. I think to a business owner, something like how to hire, something about how to hire copywriters and not lose a bunch of money would be appealing, because every one of them has kind of had that happen. Yeah, like 7 things to look for in a copywriter before you hire them. Things around that. I'd probably do that. Tony said, this is gold, way underpriced for all the value you gave. Awesome. Thank you. Bo said, how often is too often to run these $197 calls? Is once every month too much? I don't know. I mean, I've done 2 so far. I'll probably do them every other month. I'm planning on trying to do a few more with other people as well, so I don't have to create all the content. Because that's really the hardest thing. Like it takes a good amount of time to create the content. But the nice thing is, like, I have a product now that I can sell this. I don't know, maybe 6 months from now, I'll sell it again. So that's kind of the nice thing. It's a evergreen kind of thing that I could sell eventually. Mateo, what's a good AOV for the BizOp niche? I mean, for new buyers on a low ticket offer plus upsells. On a low ticket offer, I would think you're talking like less than $10, probably. If you're getting $40-50 out of them, AOV on the front end, probably doing pretty well. Matt, any ideas for a brand driven list? For example, what did you do with Patriot Power Green, Survival Splinter? Those ones, we just put them straight on the other list. And the first email was talking about how you're getting this email because you bought something from Fort Patriots. We also have a health newsletter where we talk about this, and this. So you're now on this list. If you don't, we talk about obviously all the benefits and try to really sell them on being on the list. And then say, if you don't want to be on it, you can just opt out here. You made it clear buyers are better than leads, but I'm wondering if you'd go for leads to get around Facebook compliance, context, weight loss niche. So Facebook is stopping me from actually being able to talk directly to them about their problems, or still just go straight for the buyers. I mean, that's somewhere where you could put like a quiz in front of it. A lot of the big weight loss ones, like that I shared, like this one, Metabolic Renewal, this quiz, they're running tons of traffic on Facebook. So yeah, I think I would play around with the quiz. Ron said, if you're going from no list and want to run niche-based affiliate offers, which one of these strategies would you do? I mean, it just depends. Like, I think the list splintering one with someone who's got a good list already would be great, because you could just put them on that list, run affiliate offers, and make money there. That's pretty simple to do. It's really up to you. I mean, the YouTube one, you could really build like a real business with an influencer. The niche-based affiliate stuff, like I said, just list splintering from a good list would probably be the simplest and least amount of work, I would think. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take like 1 or 2 more questions and wrap this up. So we've been going for 4 hours now. So what do you think about this lead magnet for a saving marriage course? Stop your divorce right now with the 7 proven laws that every successful marriage follows. You could differ in everything with your couple. You could be in the worst position possible, but if you follow this laws, your marriage. I would try to make it more simple than that. So it'd be more like stop your stop your divorce with this 7-word question, something like that. That's gonna be much more sexier. You could also go after a specific side of the divorce. So most women tend to initiate divorces. So you could target guys with like why she's initiating the divorce, and the 7-word question you can use to stop it, something like that. That's probably the angle I would take. All right, guys, we are going to wrap this up. Hope you got a lot out of this. Seems like everybody really enjoyed it. I will send out the recording tomorrow. I'll also send out all of the PDFs and the slides and all that type of stuff. So hope you guys got a lot out of this. If you got any questions, feel free to hit me up. But yeah, hope this was good, and we'll see you guys soon.